And hello, everybody. This is your host, Jim Masters, broadcasting worldwide live right here on YouTube and on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. How is everybody today? Hope you guys are doing well. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our fantastic, fun-filled, interactive show that provides light, love, and levity. Or you can flip those around, as we've said, light, levity, and love. Or you can say a word that we created and coined here on the Jim Masters Show Live a couple of weeks ago when I took the word levity and love and slipped up and came up with the word levity. And since doing that, everybody has fallen in love with the word levity. So we pretty much say here at the Jim Masters Show Live, you're going to experience lots of levity. And that's what it's all about. It's positivity, it's inspiration with music and food and entertainment and comedy. Again, it's an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we created about 10 weeks ago, and it has taken off like a rocket. And thanks to everybody around the world who's been sharing all of the posts, sharing all of the links, hosting watch parties. Again, all of the shows are archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and also on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. It's a show that has like modern sensibilities of today and the current trends and feeling and vibe of today, but also some old school polish as well, which is kind of cool. And so many of you have been commenting that you watch this show religiously because we're on just about every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, worldwide, simulcasting on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. So sometimes we don't have a guest, so we take you on location or we do other segments, lots of viewer interaction. I'm very viewer-centric, and I have been in all my years on television and radio, very interactive with the viewers and very appreciative of those who watch and those who support the creative arts and productions like this. So we welcome all of you from around the world, and we say thank you for tuning into the show. Now, there's a couple of things we do here on the show. They're part of our regular ritual, and that is we toast everybody. That's right. We go big time here at the Jim Masters Show Live, and we don't do this on my professional work on television and radio, although I wish we could, but we are doing it here for you on the Jim Masters Show Live. So if you have a glass, raise it, and we are here to toast you and you and you and you and you and welcome you from all around the world to the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, the Jim Masters Show. The Jim Masters Show Live. Again, all of these shows are archived. If you want to see, we had Mairead Nesbitt on the show a couple of weeks ago. We had the Harp Twins with us. Olivia Clark was with us. Paul Green was with us. We have had so many extraordinary people last night. Ann Hampton Calloway, the extraordinary platinum-selling singer and songwriter, lyricist, composer, producer. We've had people from television. Kathy Garver, who played Sissy in the TV series Family Affair. She was in the 10 Commandments. Rain Pryor, daughter of comedian Richard Pryor, was with us, and so much more. Now, of course, we have some characters here on the show that our audience looks for every single night. So here's the comedian George Burns. There he is with his cigar, TV host and legendary comedian. Remember, he was in that movie, Oh, God, and he actually played God. And of course, he was for years with Gracie Allen in the very popular series, Burns and Allen. And again, I showed him a couple of weeks ago in a nostalgic episode of our series. We brought out all our childhood toys and we had a lot of fun with the viewers. So everybody says, where's George? Bring George back on the show. So again, remember, this show is about light, levity, and love. or levity as we call it. So George is here to put a smile on your face. He's sort of like my co-host, right? He's there. He says hello to everybody. He sees all of you. And then here on the show, again, for those who are new to the show, we welcome you and hope you'll join us regularly. We have the Damien Mcginty bottle, and Jeannie is in there, and she's blinking. You see her blinking at you? She's in there. She greets all of you as well. And a couple of more cast of characters as we put smiles and positivity on everybody's faces. Again, the last few months around the world have been very different and unprecedented and uncharted and a little crazy and a little negative. So we're putting smiles on everybody's faces every night here on the program. Here is Silver. When I was on a television shoot in Europe, we purchased this wonderful canine, Silver, in Switzerland. And there he is. He greets you. Perfect name, Silver, huh? So he greets you. He's sort of our mascot. He keeps everything calm, cool, and collected and under control here at the home studio. And one more friend that we always say hello to that all of the viewers look for. There's Jimmy. Again, how does that now put a smile on your face, huh? Jimmy is here. Jimmy says hello. He greets you. And I said, if I ever am under the weather or I just decide to take a day off, maybe I'll have Jimmy host the show. I think Jimmy would do a fine job. He's been taking notes as I've been doing this program for the last 10 weeks. Now, we go Hollywood. We go big time here with the light, levity, love, and levity on the program. So let's start with some lights, camera, and action. There you go. The real deal. Lights, camera, and action. All right. The show has officially begun. Smiles on everybody's faces. How are you guys doing today? Very busy day for me today, getting today's show ready with our very special guest, the incomparable Chloe Agnew, and then getting a bevy of shows available for next week. You know, we are booked with guests all the way till September. Since we launched this show, it's been extraordinary. We have guests almost every day, all the way up and into September already. Could you imagine that? And this is still the middle of July. Since we launched the show, it's been tremendous. And so many people have been hopping aboard. People I know personally that are friends of mine in the industries, and people who just want to be a part of this vibe, this cool vibe of positivity and creativity as well. So I'm looking at over 34, 40 comments here. We're going to greet our audience first, which is what we always do. We like to say hello to the viewers from around the world. We have viewers in the United States, Canada, England, Ireland, Scotland, France, Australia, Brazil, New Zealand, Spain. We cover the globe, and it's good to see everybody tonight. So a couple of quick hellos, and then we're going to welcome our very special guest and a dear friend of mine. Again, we've known for many, many years, Chloe Agnew. Hi, everybody. Julia says hi, and please let's chat. We're going to be chatting momentarily, and it's good to see you here. Anyone up for a chat? We are. We're going to start right now. Hello, Jem. Good to see you as well. Christopher, and let us know where you're watching from. We always ask, where are you guys watching from so we can say hello to you wherever you are. And Christopher is in Ohio. And yes, Masters, I am here. And Willie watches from Holland, from the Netherlands. Now it's about 1 a.m., I think 1:15 a.m. in Holland. So what she does, she's religious about watching this show, and we love her. And again, there you go, Willie. There's your Dutch tulips. We always show her the Dutch tulips because she goes out of her way to watch this entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And what she does is she takes a nap earlier in the day so she can wake up at 1 a.m. and not miss an episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Now, that is dedication, and we love you for doing that, Willie. Thank you very much. Merlin is in Innerkip, which is in Ontario, Canada. We greet you as well. Christopher is drinking blackberry wine. Very, very nice. Good to see you as well. And I am here. I was actually going to meet Chloe this year in May at Celtic Woman's show. Everybody else there too. So happy this is here. My pleasure. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. You're watching on the Jim Masters TV YouTube channel. I encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel as well. YouTube algorithms, they love when you do that. So that would help the channel. But it would be a pleasure if you do that as well, because you can keep abreast of all the episodes. And again, the archives are there as well. All the shows and episodes we've done, you can watch. A lot of people binge watch the past episodes of our series. Jennifer Barry, welcome. It's good to see you as well. And there are the tulips coming in from Willie in the Netherlands. Thank you for the tulips back. You always send them back. And Tom Fox says, levity. You got it, Tom. That is what it's all about. Some of the viewers said that you're on the Jim Masters train when you watch this show. That is terrific. Again, I do this work professionally, but I love the fact that we created this for you guys 10 weeks ago, going into our 11th week, and it's been extraordinary. It's just like, it's been taking off like a rocket. All the love and all the support and all of the kindness and comments and sharing of the links, and it's just been amazing. I'm really touched by it all. Hello from Christine Fairwood in Connecticut, and Levity coming from Merlin in Canada, and Renee in Iowa, USA. Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. Good to see you as well. Normally, on Saturdays, we do the disco ball behind us. And, we do a whole fun sort of Saturday night fun night show. But I have a very special guest that we're going to be sharing this time with you with. And it's going to be fantastic. Hello from Berlin. Good to see you as well. Karsten, welcome to the show. Really love having you here. It's a pleasure. And thanks for joining us. This show originates from the United States, from the greater New York City area between New York and Boston. That's where this show is headquartered. So we welcome everybody all around the world for joining us. Maxine Lamar, good to see you again. Maxine, it was a pleasure. All of the comments that you had last night when you were watching the interview with the legendary Ann Hampton Calloway and that fantastic, brilliant show that we did with her as she was performing from her home in Tucson, Arizona. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for the comments, and thanks for being here tonight. You're going to love Chloe. Jennifer Barry, first time here. Awesome. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Marcia, Canada. You love Chloe, of course. She's very blessed as a singer. Yes, she is. And she's a wonderful person as well. Hi from Canada. Good to see you again, Tom. I think, Tom, you were here when Mairead was on, if I remember. I think when we had that fantastic show with Mairead Nesbitt, another dear friend of mine. I think I remember you loved that episode as well. And maybe the Harp Twins, too. Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. That's right. Debbie DeWolf. Hi from Branson, Missouri. Good to see you there in Branson. Love to have you here on the Jim Masters Show live. And let's see. Hello, Jimmy. Really, I love your voice and your whole being. Wow. How do we print that one out and put it on billboards all over the highway? Can I print? No, I don't think I can print that out. Thank you very much, Danilo. I really appreciate that. Years of radio, I think, too. And as I've gotten a little older, my voice has gotten lower, which is really a cool thing. How is the weather? Your link is bad where you are, huh? It's not so good. The weather here is terrific today. Really, really terrific. Yeah, you're having a storm there. Oh, it's blurry and buffering for you. You're having a storm moving in where you are, huh? Oh boy. Well, hopefully it'll get better for you. And Chloe Agnew is one of the best singers she's heard and saw live, and such a lovable person. Absolutely. And Schlanch, yes, absolutely. And Clink, of course, we did the toast earlier. And hopefully the signal, this is different than like a television studio or a radio studio or stage. When you're dealing with the internet, Wi-Fi and technology can be flaky and fluky and can be nutty. Hopefully you're getting a nice clear picture and everything is good on your end. But again, weather can play havoc, as we all know, with internet signals. Hi, Jim. You look great as always. Hi. Hope you're having a good weekend. Kathleen in New York City. Since you're there, we're having a fantastic weekend. And Kathleen and I were actually on the Rachel Ray show about a year and a half ago, and that was really, really cool. I'll dig up that picture and maybe post it on the show again when you got us to go to see Rachel Ray. That was awesome. And more Both Chloe and Nathan Carter have performed with the Fitzgeralds, a fiddle and step dance group from Ontario, Canada. Future guest opportunity. Yes, it would be great to have Nathan on the show. He's really a cool guy, and I had a terrific interview with him and Chloe when there was a public television special that Nathan did about a year ago, and they were on a tour in the United States, and it was terrific. It was great to meet Nathan as well. He's a great talent and a good guy, and it was great to have them together. Jim always has it going on. Thanks, Christopher. And Linda Odell, hello from St. Augustine, Florida. Great to have you here. And hello from Sylvania, Ohio. We always like to interact with the audience first and just welcome everybody because they all like to see each other. Love listening to the Celtic Women sing. Yes, they are fantastic. And hello from Richmond, Virginia. Nice to see you. And yes, the clown Jimmy is definitely the sidekick. So is George Burns. You got that right, Christopher. And Glenn is here. Hi, Chloe. Love you. Hi from New Jersey, USA. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. Glenn, good to have you with us in the Garden State and Marshall, Canada. Love from Missouri, Chloe. And in North Carolina, Ernestine Webb. Hi, Jim and friends. Looking forward to the guest tonight. It has been very hot there in North Carolina. I'm sure it's hot. Yeah, it's been a little warm, up around here as well, but not as hot where you guys there in the South. Busy. Yes, it's been really busy lately. Hi from New Hampshire. Good to see you in New Hampshire as well. Welcome to the show. We welcome you here and more coming in. Hello from Paris, Ontario, Canada. Good to have you with us there in Paris. The other Paris. And Renee, it was hot here too. Now storms moving in. That could be why your signal might be a little off there. Hopefully it gets better for you. And you love Chloe, Antonio. Everybody does. Everybody's saying hello to each other. It's good to see you all here. Thanks for spreading the word. Chloe's been texting and posting about it. I've been posting about it as well. We're very socially media minded. Shalente, cheers. Got me Irish Jameson and cold beer. This is cool. Excited, Jim and Chloe. Good. You're all set up. Wow. Jennifer, you've got all the goods there. Meg Hartnett. Hi from Boston, Massachusetts. Good to see you there in the Bay State of Massachusetts. Hello from Delaware, Susie. Tiffany Lauren, another dear friend. She was a guest on the show too. We always see each other at Carnegie Hall with Tim Janis's holiday concerts, which I've emceed multiple times over the years for Tim and everybody at Carnegie Hall. And Tiffany is a brilliant violinist, and she has worked also with Mairead Nesbitt as far as being trained and coached and things of that nature. Everybody, it's like one big happy circle of friends. I think good people just attract good people, and we're aware of that, and you stick together. Tiffany's in Chicago. It's nice to see you there in Deep Dish Pizza Land there. And Jennifer, watching from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hello from Summerside. Oh, that's good to see you there in Canada. Welcome, Anna. First time watching in Boston. Hopefully not the last. We're here with great guests and content every night, Jim Master. So dedicated to your fans, absolutely. As is Chloe. She's very dedicated to her fans as well. Deep South, USA, Hueytown, Alabama. Hot and humid here at 6:15 p.m. there. Frank, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. Great to have you with us. We appreciate it. Spread the word. Tell everybody we're on every night. Hello from North Carolina, Diane. We love having you here. Hello from Dayton, Ohio, Eric. And levity from, that's our exclusive word, levity. I think Ann Hampton Calloway said she's going to work on a theme song for our show, a new one with the word levity in it. That's going to be cool. Levity from Chicago. And more coming in. Hi from Portugal, Antonio. Great to have you watching on YouTube at Jim Masters TV from beautiful Portugal. We welcome you. And Dwayne watching from Arkansas. Well, some say Arkansas, some say Arkansas. He says Arkansas. He's from there. So we're going with Arkansas. And beautiful day in Boston today. Yes, there's a very big Irish contingent in Boston. I'm Irish on my father's mother's side, my father's mother's family. My father's side came from Yorkshire, England. My father's mother's side came from Ireland. Yes. And Marcia, first time watching. Good to have you with us. And my mother's side is English, Swedish, and French. American, little mix of this and that. Howdy from Nevada, first timer. Great to have you with us. We've been waiting 10 weeks for you, Colleen. Good to have you with us on the show. And hopefully you'll be here regularly. Great guests coming up. Hello from Dayton, Ohio. Good to have you here. Mark is watching from Nashville. That is awesome. It's amazing the amount of comments coming here. So happy to see Chloe on tonight with you. I'm such a huge fan and have been since the Celtic Woman days. Yeah, it's amazing. Celtic Woman has been around for so long. She has a brilliant solo career too, as well. I don't know if you're aware, anybody watching, that she is an amazing solo artist as well. And she's done a lot of great work with Nathan and other talented artists. It would be such a dream to meet her when, you haven't met her. You're going to meet her tonight, and she's very excited to be here. And hello from Benny. Benny, welcome to the show. Good to see you here. And you've been watching Chloe since she joined Celtic Woman. Her voice is amazing. Yes. If you ever saw a Celtic Woman concert, brilliant. If you've ever seen Chloe perform solo, brilliant as well. You've got your Jameson whiskey. Storm missed you in Connecticut. That is nice. That's at the Jersey Shore. Let's see what else. Couple more, and then we'll welcome Chloe to the show. She's waiting in our beautiful green room. She's having champagne and lobster and cheese and crackers in our green room right now. Maybe not. She's in her own room. Yesterday, before Ann came on, your face was puddled a few times. Looks good today. Great. Well, you know what? Yesterday, when we were on with Ann, she had a little bit of an issue with her Wi-Fi because they had installed something new into her system and they didn't do it right there in Arizona. And we had a tropical storm come up the east coast of the United States. And while we were doing the show, it was a tropical storm outside. So that kind of made it a little fuzzy here and there. Wasn't anything from here. It was more the tropical storm that was over the northeastern United States. But we were on the air. Nothing stopped us. We had a great conversation. Good to see you, Mary. We appreciate it. Friendly greetings from hot Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was in Albuquerque a couple years ago on a TV shoot. What a cool, funky place. I loved it. I thought it was really great. And Benny is watching in La Mirada, California. Good to see you. And you are in, Mara, it's good to see you again tonight. Tacoma, Washington, rainy and breezy. I think that's the daily forecast, right, for Tacoma. Reno, Nevada, Allentown, Pennsylvania. You love Chloe and her beautiful voice. Waiting for Chloe to come back to South Georgia and the beach at Amelia Island. Very, very nice. I'm sure as soon as she can, like all of us, there's TV shoots I'm supposed to be on and all the planes are sort of grounded. Hopefully we'll all be busy doing those things again. Love you, Chloe, especially when you and Lisa do Wild Rover. And Brett is watching from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Good to see you, Brett. And yes, next time in Chicago, we'll all go to all the great pizza places and get some cool deep dish. All right, a few more here. And first time watching the show live, thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of people watch the archives at Jim Masters TV on YouTube. You can see all of the past episodes, and it's really cool. Feel free to subscribe to that channel as well, YouTube, Jim Masters TV. Hi from Phelan, Yorkshire. Beautiful Yorkshire. That's where the Masters family hail from. Beautiful Yorkshire. Can we do another cheers? All right, real quick. We'll do another one here for you. I'm going to do one with Chloe as well. Slanche to Jim and Chloe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There. All right. So when I bring her on, we'll do another one. I have all the guests always have a drink with them of some sort. You mentioned the wonderful Harp Twins, perhaps a guest spot for them. Yes, Eric, go to YouTube. Go to Jim Masters TV. Scroll down the episodes. We had an incredible episode where the Harp Twins were my guest on the show. So definitely, you can see the Harp Twins episode. A lot of people have been watching it. You can see that. You can see Mairead Nesbitt. You can see all these episodes archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. That is the home to all the episodes of the Jim Masters Show live. So yeah, the Harp Twins were here. They were terrific. I met them in Maine when we worked on a special with Tim Janis called Celtic Heart, which was on public television. And it was terrific. And we've stayed friends ever since. And they hopped on this show just a couple weeks ago. So you can see that whole show if you go into the archives and scroll down where it says the Jim Masters Show live under Jim Masters TV, you can see all the past episodes of this broadcast series. The more people join, the longer the beginning of your show. Yeah, yes. Look at it all, huh? Amazing. Levity, yeah. We got a lot of good stuff here. So we're going to get ready to begin our conversation. There are so many. We'll get to all of these later. Archived on YouTube. Awesome. Didn't know. Yeah, the Harp Twins, that was a great show as well. You got it. You got it. All right. This is a host, and this is a show where we talk with the audience first, and then we bring on the guest, and we have an amazing time. So good to see all of you here on the show. And let's welcome my very special guest. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. You might even learn something new that you didn't know about Chloe during our phenomenal conversation. First of all, I just want to show you a couple of things that we go back in time together, and I'm going to show these when Chloe is on as well. This was at public television. This was with Celtic Woman at public television. You may remember some of the other artists. Of course, Mary Nesbitt is there as well. This was actually, I was emceeing their concert, Celtic Woman's concert, for them as well. So this was sort of backstage. This is with Chloe Agnew as well. And always having a grand time with them. And we always have so many laughs. And it's like, you know, friends who are just getting together. This is one of the original pictures with the original group, Celtic Woman. You see everybody there, right? Mairead and Lisa and Alex and everybody, Lynn, Chloe. And this also was at public television, and I was interviewing all of them. This is one of the early years of Celtic Woman, and there they are together. I love that photo of all of us together. And here's another shot with Chloe and I over the years. We've stayed in touch, and it's amazing when we see each other during, you know, our professional work, whether it's at a concert or at a television studio. It's always like, hey, how you been? It's always like, you know, terrific. And this was actually something cool. I presented on behalf of the governor of the state of Connecticut and public television, this beautiful citation that was presented on stage to all of Celtic Woman. I believe this was on a St. Patrick's Day as well. And the governor's office, as well as PBS, had asked me to present this to the wonderful ladies of Celtic Woman. The public television station in Connecticut had asked me to do that, and it was a glorious thing to do. So again, we go back a ways, and it's just wonderful when you get a chance to do that. And there is our wonderful Chloe, and amazing photos of your guests. Yeah, really cool stuff. So she is joining us here on the show, and we've been talking about, I've been previewing this for quite some time that she was going to be on the show. Let me tell you a little bit about her. We're going to go back in time a little bit. Chloe Alexandra Adele Emily Agnew. Yes, that is her name. Born June 9th. That's right. Her birthday just passed a month ago. So a belated happy birthday to our beloved Chloe. She is an Irish singer and songwriter who is an original and current member of the Celtic music group Celtic Woman, as well as its youngest member. And she comes from County Dublin, where she lived with her mother, Adele Twink King, and younger sister, Naomi. She sings in English, Irish, Latin, Italian, and German, and she has a soprano vocal range. She was born to Irish entertainer Adele Twink King and Irish oboist David Agnew. She made her very first television appearance on her mother's program, aged only 4 years old, and later sang on the show at the age of 6. She attended Notre Dame des Missions Junior School for primary school education, followed by Alexandra College Girls' School. In '98, Chloe represented Ireland and was the winner of the Grand Prix at the first International Children's Song Competition in Cairo with a song called The Friendship. Let me say that again. The Friendship Tree. Say that 5 times fast. That's not so easy. The Friendship Tree. She then began to perform at the Olympia Theatre in Dublin and continued in that role for 4 years. In 1999, she appeared in The Young Messiah, a modern adaptation of Handel's Messiah. And in this production, she played one of the children and performed sign language. Now, in 2000, at age 11, Chloe approached director David Downs about recording a solo to raise money for the children of Afghanistan. Very beautiful thing to do. With his help, she recorded Angel of Mercy for the album This Holy Christmas Night, which raised over 20,000 for the Afghan Children's Charity Fund in 2001. And that year, and the same year, she joined the Christ Church Cathedral's Girls Choir and remained a member for 3 years. Again, you learn something new on this show, right? In 2002, she was signed to Celtic Collections, and with the backing of David Downs, she recorded her debut album, Chloe. Now, in 2004, she reached her second album and released that, Chloe Walking in the Air. She also recorded a companion DVD for her second album released in Europe in 2004, and in North America in 2007. She appeared as part of the group Celtic Woman at the Helix in Dublin in 2004. Chloe has been featured on 14 albums with the group, recording songs in multiple languages and taking part in several world tours. In 2009, Chloe was invited by Italian tenor Alessandro Ranella to sing with him on his debut album. In 2012, Chloe was named Female Vocalist of the Year at the Irish Music Awards. On the 5th of August in 2013, Celtic Woman announced Chloe Agnew would be taking a break from Celtic Woman to focus on solo projects, and a position was filled by Derry-born singer Mairead Carlin. After leaving Celtic Woman, Chloe was chosen to be the special guest of the Celtic Thunder Cruise. She, along with former Celtic Thunder member Paul Byram, again, another one that has become a friend and we've interviewed on public television, another great talent. Also, a special guest of Lisa Kelly's concerts called The Voice of Ireland and Celtic Christmas. Chloe was also part of Ethan Bortnick's concert with another former Celtic Thunder member, Damien Mcginty. Ethan might be coming on the show. We're talking to him about that. I've interviewed Ethan many, many times on public television. And Damien Mcginty is going to be on this show in just a couple weeks. I'll keep you posted on that. Damien Mcginty, as another dear friend, I've interviewed him multiple times on public television, and from Celtic Thunder, but he also has a brilliant solo career and just was recently married as well. So Damien Mcginty is going to be hopping aboard the show as well. On June 22nd, 2020, it was announced that Chloe was going to return to Celtic Woman for the U.S. Celebration Tour to fill in, who was for Yvonne McMahon, who was taking leave from the group. However, of course, the tour was postponed shortly after due to what we've been going through with COVID. But on April 22nd, 2020, Chloe announced that she would be rejoining the group for the rescheduled Celebration Tour, which is very exciting. Irish music was bred into us from the day we were born. Looking back to our ancestors and our heritage, it was always in our culture. Even though the hardest of times, Irish people always turn to music. They have a song for everything, for drinking, for depression, for famine. I remember a song growing up that was for milking the cows, that is quoted by the wonderful Chloe. Chloe is a member of the Roman Catholic Church. She often says prayers just before going on stage to calm her nerves. And let me tell you, she's award-winning. She's beloved. She's friendly and funny and witty and affable and talented. I could go on and on and on, but let me welcome her to our show with this grand introduction here. Again, well worth the grand introduction. Our friend, Chloe Agnew, joining us here on the show. Chloe, how are you, and welcome.
Hi, friend. How are you? My goodness, that was quite an intro. I just talk about myself.
I know when you hear the introduction, sometimes you're like, oh my God, I forgot I did that, and I did that, and I did that, and wow, that's me. So how have you been? What have you been up to? And
very much. My goodness, can I tell you something? My cheeks, I haven't even spoken 30 seconds to you. My cheeks are sore from smiling because I've been sitting here watching the entire show, just smiling the whole time. You're just amazing in action. It's so wonderful to see you do your thing, and how wonderful to see so many people from all over the world streaming in. I saw so many familiar faces and names popping up, and how wonderful it is to see lots of friends online here tonight to come on and listen to us have the chats, and to see what a loyal fan group you have following your wonderful show. My God, what about your friend in the Netherlands who's staying up till all hours to watch it. That's amazing. That is absolute dedication. I saw my wonderful Karsten is there too, who I know is in Berlin, and I know it's well past his bedtime, and they're staying up to watch this. So God bless everybody all over the world who is sending lots of levity. Isn't my new favorite word? Oh, it's my new favorite word.
Everybody felt, I tell you, I was saying light, levity, and love on a Saturday night. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And I slipped up and I said levity. And then everybody was like, I love that. Keep that word.
Exactly what the world needs more of right now. I want a levity shirt. It's great.
We were talking about that, getting T-shirts, mugs, and stuff like that. That say,
merch. I love it. I'll buy it.
I think Ann Hampton Calloway said last night when we had her on, she said, not only is it,
I want to write a theme tune. Anne's going to put me to it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. She said, levity is amazing. But she said, when you go on the Jim Masters show, we all leave with a master's degree. I love that.
Oh, I love that. Okay. I'll give her that. That's amazing. Power to her. Nicely done.
On our show, we toast the guest and we toast the viewers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very nice. And what do you have?
Oh, a good
What's
old
in there?
A red wine in this
Very
glass,
nice.
which my friend bought me because I'm a terribly klutzy person naturally. So she bought me this glass. Wait till you see this. It's no stem, but it's a rolling glass. So when you put it down, it rolls. You know, it doesn't go fast. So it's basically that you never spill it.
I love that. And it's break proof, right? It doesn't smash.
It's like an adult sippy cup, you know? I'm like, okay, this suits me fine.
So I was showing those pictures in the beginning, Chloe. You and I go back.
Oh my gosh. What about those photos? They brought a serious smile to my face. I was just like, what? Yeah. How crazy, those baby faces, how far we go back, my friend. How wonderful to see those. Good for you having those pictures. You have to send me those. They're great to have.
Absolutely. I think we were, 10 or 11 in some of those pictures?
Maybe 9 or maybe 9 or 10. Yeah.
I don't know how they let us in the TV studio and on stage like that, but they once you said we have Irish in us, they said, "Oh, come on in." But yeah, it's really cool because we've all stayed connected over the years, you and I and Mairead and everybody. And I just think that's a beautiful thing because that doesn't always happen. You know what I mean? Sometimes you meet people along the way in our respective fields, and then everybody just goes on and goes about their business. But we have just stayed connected and glued. And every time that we see each other, it's like, hey, oh my God, it's like no time has passed, which I think is amazing.
I'm so glad to hear you say that because you took the words out of my mouth. Only this evening, I cooked some dinner for myself and my mom, and we were sitting outside, and I was telling her I was doing this evening. And of course, as soon as I mentioned your name, she went, Jim Masters, how is that wonderful man?
I love it.
But she knows all about you. She knows all about Jim Masters. And I said, he's great. And I said, and it's the true thing about it. I said, my God, Mum, for the last 15 years of my life, since I was a 14, 15-year-old child, I saw, I think, every PBS station in America. I met every PBS host. We met so many people in various different TV worlds and all of that. And exactly as you said it yourself, it's a job. So people come and go in our lives, and we're thankful to meet who we do and what they bring into our world. But then very so often you meet one or two rare gems in this world that when you connect, that spark is there forever, And I just said it to my mom. I said, oh my gosh, I've done so many PBS stations. I met so many wonderful people over the years. But honestly, Jim Masters has been one of the few who has been that true friend from the start. And I said, Mom, we've grown up together. Yeah. I said, that man met me when I was a child. And I said, now he's meeting me in my own capacity out in a solo career. But yet we have those good old days to reflect on. And I just said, it's such a really special thing because for me, PBS has always been very much a family, very much a community. You look at the loyalty of PBS fans and family members who follow and support PBS. But then when you see that comes from the top down, it comes from the people who are in the inside at the heart of PBS, you know, and it's people like you and a couple of really very special people across the country who you just hold dear to your heart. And when you look at those photos, you just go, oh my gosh, what a journey we have to have been on. So I'm very thankful. You know, I'm so thankful for so many things in my life that are due to Celtic Woman, but you're one of the gems that are up there that I'm very thankful our worlds connected, you know.
Me too. And I appreciate those kind words. And I do have to say, your mother does have good taste.
Oh, she knows her stuff, baby. Mm-hmm. She knows her stuff.
She knows her stuff. So let's go back in time for the audience as well. I mean, we have a lot of people watching around the world right now, and some probably know certain things about you, or they've seen you in certain roles. But again, you're doing so many incredible things, solo as well as the involvement with Celtic Woman all these years. You come from a musical family. You have this opportunity early on in your life to be inspired and to have this passion develop and be fostered really early that sparked this creativity for you to then launch this brilliant career. Tell us about what it was like being surrounded by that early on in Ireland with your family.
Well, it's funny, you know, when I look at it now, I guess that I'm that little bit older. For me, growing up in this entertainment industry, you know, I'm very thankful in one way that I never saw anything through rose-tinted glasses. And people who know me will have heard me say this before. You know, I grew up in a family that entertainment and music and being on stage is how we put bread and butter on the table. You know, it is very much a job in some ways too. Don't get me wrong. We feel we're very thankful. We feel I'm always very thankful that I feel blessed to have been given a gift that I get to share with people. And yes, I love every second of it. I enjoy it. I do love it. But because I came from that world of that's how we pay the bills. That's how we put food on the table. I think I do look at it with very much a strict routine and schedule and an understanding of what is entailed in going into a lifestyle that is this, you know. So, you know, because I feel sad. There's so much misconception about the entertainment industry. It looks so glamorous, particularly nowadays with social media and how we interpret people who you know, perform for a living. And there's always that great joke of, oh, would you ever get a real job? You know, that you're in the entertainment industry. It's time for you to get a real job. But, you know, people don't often see the work, the hours, the dedication, the time, the discipline that goes into you honing your craft and being good at your skill at what you do. They see the glamorous side of it and think, you know, you put on a fancy dress, you come out on stage and you sing for 2 hours and that's your job done. You know, so, and don't get me wrong, they're the 2 best hours of the day. I love every second of it, but people don't see the hours that go into the work behind that. So I think I was really lucky that I grew up in a family that I saw that, you know, from a very, very young age. So being able to go out on tour at 14, 15, I think I did have a slight advantage to other kids who I feel sorry for, who walk into X Factor or, you know, America's Got Talent, and they instantly are catapulted to this level of fame and success and grueling touring schedules, grueling traveling, promotion, touring, you know, all of that stuff. They don't really have an understanding of the school behind having to do any of those things. So I think I was lucky with that in some regard. But at the same time, I did that for, you know, the guts of a decade with Celtic Woman. And then when I stepped out on my own and had to figure out being a solo artist in an ever-evolving, ever-changing music and entertainment industry, it was like starting from scratch. It really was. It was so terrifying because I didn't have the team. I didn't have the world, the machine of Celtic Woman behind me. I was little old me. So I kind of learned a lot about myself and the industry and all of those things about myself. And I kind of feel like I continue to do that. And as I get a little older, I think everybody feels it in whatever field they're in. You know, stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing something that challenges you, that scares you. You perpetually live in a world that you go, am I going to be good enough for this? Is this going to work? Am I going to be able to pay my bills by doing this? Are people going to believe in, you know, all of those things? Those questions just get bigger and scarier as you get older. Right. You know, it's just figuring out a way to navigate it. And kind of honestly, for me, it is the times that I can be having a really crap day. And it's particularly right now in COVID times when everything is uncertain, right? There's just this general sense of what happens next, when, what is happening in my life. I've been talking to so many friends, colleagues, family members, and being honest enough to say my head is all over the place right now. I feel a mess. I don't know what's going on. I'm anxious. I'm uncertain about everything. I'm uncertain about my purpose, what I'm supposed to do. I'll have days like that, and then I'll open my Facebook or my Instagram and there'll be a comment from somebody. Even Tom Fox, who I know is on here, and I haven't even replied to his beautiful message, but he sent some beautiful message earlier this week being like, just this is we're starting this week, a great person. Whatever he said, he was like, thank you for everything that you give to us and, your heart and your music, whatever it was so beautifully phrased. And I was having a really crap day and I just was like, oh, that reminds me why I do what I do. When those moments happen, you're in your house on your own and nobody understands that those precious little moments that somebody comments on a video or sends you a message to say that your music has helped them through a tough time. That's the things that help you get through your tough times. It's been a very strange time for the world, in that I think it has shown a lot of true colors for a lot of dark and evil and nasty things that are going on. But at the same time, it has also shone so much light on good and beauty in the world that we need. I feel like in the last few months, I have watched more online videos that have made me cry my heart out with just sheer joy and almost restoring your faith in humanity, when you watch those things and you go, oh my gosh, this is actually a time where people really are understanding how much we should need each other, how much we should rely on each other, particularly for me, and I'm sure yourself, for people who are in the industry of arts. The arts and entertainment industry has been completely decimated. It's all over the shop, and we have a way of knowing when everything is going to return to the way we once knew it. But when you look at these times right now, I've said it before, I'll say it again, everybody would be lost right now without movies, music, books, art, right. Anything that is remotely artistic and creative. That is the one thing that is fuel to people's fire right now to keep their hearts and their souls and their minds sane, So I kind of hope that I know our world has been really badly rocked and shaken, but I really hope that maybe now more than ever people can appreciate what the arts actually do for people's sanity and our well-being and our quality of life.
It is so true. Could you imagine if none of it existed? I mean, you need it to balance and take your mind away from all the chaos and away from everything that's going on. And if you're somebody, again, who's a communicator who has this real desire to, like I know that you do and I do, we feed off the energy of other people and then we like to give it back tenfold. And we like that back and forth in a positive, inspiring way. So, we're not always able to do it right now in person because of everything that's happening. So we're doing it in these creative ways. That's a beautiful message. I completely agree that it's a wonderful time where we could either stay stuck or we could move forward together.
100%. Yeah. And I think it's time for it. Look, 2020, why not? There's nothing
new decade.
New decade. Let's just give this a fresh slate. Let's just go,
That's it. So going back to the earlier years for you, when did you realize that you really loved entertaining and performing, and that this is something that really was in your DNA and it was something that you have to do? Not that you just want to do it, but you have to do it. It's sort of like a calling for you, that there's an energy that comes through you that thrusts you out there to do what you do.
This is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy, my answer, but this is the truth. I think I didn't understand truly what music meant to me, what performing meant to me, what the engagement with an audience and people who have spent their hard-earned money to come and hear you sing. I don't think I truly understood what that meant until I was out on my own. And I know that sounds crazy because I feel very thankful. I don't want to feel ungrateful for the wonderful years that I had with Celtic Woman, that I got to perform in the best venues all over the world in front of the most incredible crowds. But you know, like I said it earlier, I'll reiterate it. You're part of a team, a machine. You know, all of those people make that show work. But then when you go out on your own, it's all on you. And when I left Celtic Woman, I was looking for a new connection with music, and I figured the only way to do that was to start songwriting. It was to start writing what was going to come from the inside out. And once I started doing that, this penny dropped. It was like a light bulb, and it went, oh my gosh, you have something more to say than just the songs that you've been singing for all the time that you've known. You're more than just Chloe from Celtic Woman. You have something to be on your own. And I think when that little penny dropped, it was the scariest thing. It was the most terrifying thing. When I left Celtic Woman, I had a serious anxiety breakdown about how I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to stand on stage again, because I didn't know who I was outside of the bubble that was Celtic Woman. So finding that pin, it been burst, and then going, ta-da, here's the world. Figure out who you are, kid, was the best thing that ever happened to me, you know. And I think really then realizing that music is an innate part of my soul. It's who I am. I can't walk around the house for 5 minutes without humming or singing something, you know. So I think realizing that they are all the things that is who I am, and wanting to share a different side of me through music, through songwriting, through creating and crafting a set list of music that I chose. I chose the band, you know, I chose the arrangements of the song because this is how I wanted to feel in the moment. This is the story that I want to tell before the song because I want people to know why I chose it. All of those things, I only had an opportunity to do that when I moved out on my own. And that was the moment for me that it went, yeah, this is you, baby. This is all you. This is your life. This is what you got to do, you know? I know it sounds crazy because it was a little later in the day, but I think for a long time I was in a world with Celtic Woman that I you know, I didn't realize what it was until I stepped outside of that dollhouse and went, oh, wow, that was really cool. Now I've got to figure out building my own little house over here. And what's that going to be like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And it gave you a good understanding of the rigors of performance and practice and rehearsing and touring and appearances and all the things that come with it. You know, sometimes people think it's just the glitz and the glamour of everything that we do, but there's so much work and sleepless nights and craziness that goes on to make it look so smooth and so easy when we're presenting what we're presenting. And you got a chance to be thrown in the fire and really learn that early on, right?
Yeah, well, completely. And I think, look, I learned it in a different time as well. You know, I sound like an old lady at 31, but like crazy to think about it. You know, Celtic Woman, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We were so lucky we came into the world when it was genuinely pre-YouTube, pre-Netflix, pre-Spotify, pre-iTunes. It was any of that. It was, you know, it was PBS. It was people went to their local Barnes and Noble or their Tower Records. They bought their CDs, their DVDs, and that's where they access their content. And, you know, so nowadays you're dealing with, in this ever evolving scene of putting a picture up to help promote a tour, putting a video up to try and help promote whatever album you're going to do next, you know. So you're constantly trying to find an organic, natural connection with your audience that is not just this bullshit picture that you have to put up to try and, you know, sell your product, you know. So you're kind of constantly trying to fight against that. And then the problem is when you're doing that, I've had the conversation with so many young kids who come up to me and they go, oh my gosh, you're living the dream, you know, you're living. And you go, if you're basing that off of one picture that I just put up on my Instagram or Facebook page this week, that's not what this is about. You know, that's not what this industry is. That's not, you know, you've got a long road ahead of you if that's what you think is living the dream, you know. So as much as I do feel thankful for it, I also do want to be a voice for the kids who are growing up in this industry right now, who it's a constant game of changing and trying to feel relevant in that is hard. And so many people fall under the waistline because they think, well, nobody wants to listen to me, nobody cares about me, so why should I bother, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of trying to I don't know, bring that home these days is tough. But
Absolutely. When you look at those Celtic Woman years, Chloe, what are some of the favorite moments for you that you may remember? I know we have some wonderful photos that I'll show that might be in line with some of those favorite moments. Our crack research team here put some really wonderful things together. This might be one of those moments.
Oh my gosh, there we are with good old Bill Clinton. Ray Fiennes there on the right, David Downs, our MD, and Dave Kavanagh, our CEO. Yeah, look, I'm really thankful that you know, when you talk about amazing moments that happened throughout the years of Celtic Woman, I got to perform for 3 consecutive US presidents all before the age of 20, which was amazing. The first one was George Bush in the White House. The second event was Bill Clinton in New York. And then we got to perform for the Obamas at the national tree lighting ceremony on the front lawn of the White House. So that was, look, incredible, amazing moments. Every single one of them, I can still hear my knees knocking. I can still hear, knees knocking from the nerves, so I was shaking, because they were just such huge moments. I mean, who'd have thought the Celtic Woman was supposed to be a one-night show? We were supposed to come together for one night. That was it. So to think here we are all these years later performing for the presidents of the United States is pretty amazing. There we are. That's with George Bush. And then you'll see our Taoiseach at the time, Bertie Ahern, was there with us. That was St. Patrick's Day in the White House, which was absolutely incredible. The wonderful Hayley Westenra, who's a beautiful singer. She was a guest with us. That's her there in the middle. And Ray Fiennes, again, Ray Fiennes was our incredible percussionist drummer, which many people will know from the DVDs and the shows throughout the years. Ray was pretty much the 6th Celtic Woman. Like, let's be honest. He was pretty much in all the major photos and promo moments of Celtic Woman. Ray's there. So he's one of our token Celtic women.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Now, again, these are wonderful experiences that came out of all of that. And here's another wonderful shot.
That's the family. That's me and my wonderful sister, Naomi, and my beautiful mother and father, Adele and David. That was backstage at the National Concert Hall. That was my debut solo show here in Ireland in 2016. And I had done 1 or 2 smaller shows before that, but this was kind of the biggie because the National Concert Hall is one of our iconic theatres here in Ireland that I grew up performing on the stage, but my father is a resident performer on the stage, as it is it's the home to the National Concert Orchestra, which my father is one of the principal oboe and carongle players with. So standing on the stage for my debut solo show in Ireland, backstage with my mom and my dad on a stage that I've been to see my mom and my dad perform on many, many times since I was a little girl, was a very, very special night. Thank you for showing that. That's a real special one. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's another great one.
That's myself, Mom, and Naomi. We were in Rome. We did a photo shoot in Rome. The fanciest I've ever felt in my life.
When in Rome. Yeah.
Well, we ate pizza and drank wine for days. Who'd have thought we were on a phone?
Oh, very nice. Here's another.
There we are. That's okay. So here's a good story, right? I made my poor family stay up in Ireland. I think it was about 4 or 5 in the morning to watch the national tree lighting ceremony online. It was being streamed live online in America. So they had to stay up until about 4 or 5 in the morning to watch us. The very last part of the show is President Obama walking down the line of all the performers, shaking everybody's hand. So it's filming him walking down the line. Just as he gets to me, the camera cuts away. And my poor family didn't know how to tell me. They said, Chloe, I'm really sorry. We stayed up until all hours. But just as Barack got to you, the camera shot away and we couldn't see you shaking his hand. Devastated. So then about 2 weeks later, we got a message in from the company to say, there's only one press shot we got back from the evening and this is it. So I was thrilled. I was like, somebody was looking out for me up there. Somebody was making sure that the one photo we got back. And the funny thing about that, right, is it was a freezing cold Washington, D.C., December night. I think it was December 10th or whatever. Everybody was in their big, thick wool jackets. People had scarves, hats, gloves, everything. There were the 5 Irish girls out with their shoulders out in their little spring summer dresses. So the first thing he said to me when he got to me is, he said, "Are you guys not freezing?" And of course I turned around, and before I even had a chance to think, I just went, "Sure, we're Irish. This is a fine summer's day. We're used to this. This is grand." He put his head back and he laughed, and we had that laugh together. And that was the one photo that we got back from that beautiful interaction happening. So I'm pretty proud of that one. You know, that is hanging up inside my hall door, and my mother will not let anybody come into the house without telling them that story.
That is funny. That is amazing. I mean, of all the shots, huh?
I know. And the fact that the camera had cut away. So that's really cool that that's the one photo we do have, you know.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely amazing. We have some more wonderful shots to share here. This is a beautiful one too. Ooh.
Oh, that's myself and my beautiful mama at the VIP Style Awards here in Ireland. Yes, a couple of years back.
And there's another. Love that one too. Wow. Okay. Really terrific. Yeah. Beauty runs in the family as well as talent.
There's a check in the mail for you, my son.
There we go. Another great shot. Beautiful, beautiful shots. And I'm sure your family, your mother, and all, they must be very proud.
Thank you. I hope so. I mean, that's what we all try to do, right? Is to try and make our loved ones proud of us. Yeah, I think, you know, they're typical parents. They worry all the time. You know, they always worried and always, you know, just hoping that I'm happy and okay. And, you know, they're tough too. You know, I'm thankful for my parents. They're tough on me too. They you know, not that they but because they're in the industry, they know good, they know great, they know kind of somewhere in the middle, you know, so they know how to not push you, but to make you continue to better yourself. That, you know, you are only as good as your last gig. You are only as good as the reputation that you are trying to pride yourself on, you know. So they're tough. I mean, I will do things that I'll say to them, "Oh, here's a song I wrote," and I'll feel really excited about it. And they're like, "Not one of your best ones." Yeah. I thought I was Mozart. Like, how could you? So it's funny. I think it's a good thing actually having people who are in the industry too, because they won't let you away with a lot of stuff. You know, they'll keep you on your toes, keep you pushing for your best.
Which is what it's all about. We've got some more great shots here. Here's another great one.
That's good times. Look at us. Oh gosh, I think what tour was that on? It must have been on one of the Believe tours, yeah, with Lisa Lamb, Susan McFadden, and the beautiful Mairead Nesbitt. Good time.
Yeah, and here's another one here. Well, these are, I think you guys, I was just there last year, and what a phenomenal, I was on a TV shoot, but, and there was a group there that was rehearsing, and the acoustics are phenomenal. I recommend anybody go, just not, you know, go for a performance if one of your favorite artists is performing there, but also go just for the visual stunning beauty of this location where you got a chance to perform, and that is Red Rocks. And that's unbelievable in Colorado. Yeah.
Favorite is in the whole world. As you said yourself, the acoustics are just incredible. The setting is spectacular. You know, it is really one of those times that when you feel music and nature unite, it's quite an incredible atmosphere and energy that is created. And I'm really thankful, actually. One of the last shows I did on my last tour before I moved on from Celtic Woman back in 2013 was Red Rocks. I celebrated my 24th birthday on stage, and my incredible Clovers came out in full force. And I remember looking at, you know, I mean, Red Rocks is massive. I think it seats about 10,000 people. But I remember walking out and seeing like the first 3 rows were all in these pink "Happy Birthday Chloe" t-shirts, and it was the coolest thing ever, walking out on Red Rock stage and seeing that sight, and just remembering that as one of my last shows on that tour was spectacular.
Really amazing. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Just the beauty of it. I encourage people to go visit. Red Rocks is in Colorado, just outside Denver. There's another
background. Fake, doesn't it? You would think it's a set. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
Real natural rock that you're just sitting embedded in the middle of, just singing. It's incredible. And yeah, singing Ave Maria there was one of my highlights of my time in Celtic Woman, because hearing the acoustics of that against those giant rocks is spectacular. And it's tough too, because the oxygen levels up there are really tough. On your lungs takes its toll. So for singers, it's quite a challenging gig. Particularly singing a song like Ave Maria, which requires a lot of breath control and long phrases and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a challenge, but my God, it feels great when you do it right. And when it happens, it feels great.
It's absolutely unbelievable too, because when you go to the Denver area, that's why they call it the Mile High City. There's the beautiful place. I don't know if you got a chance to go to it. Friends of mine after the TV shoot took me up there. It's about 8,000 feet up. It's in Golden, Colorado, which is right next to Denver. It's the Mother Cabrini Shrine, and it is spectacular. And you could see from miles. And at the very top of the Mother Cabrini Shrine, you drive up, and then there's steps that go up. There's this towering statue of Jesus overlooking Colorado. And it's
like something you see in Rio.
It actually is similar to that, and it is absolutely fantastic. And Red Rocks, like you say, is that whole area. But one thing they do say is because of the altitude, and it does take your breath away. I mean, I saw there were marathon runners who were at Red Rocks when we were doing our TV shoot, and they were sweating and they were out of breath. Marathon trainers, just because of the altitude. So one thing they say is don't drink anything liquor wise for several days before you go. And when you arrive in the Denver area, don't go on any drinking binges, because the hangover that you would normally get, or the response you normally get, is quadrupled in Denver area.
I could have told the Irish that a long time ago. It was all a lot of pain.
A lot of trouble, right? Yeah, I was told that. They said don't.
Fascinating. Good to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It sort of quadruples the effect.
Oh my gosh, how mad. Wow. There I am with the wonderful Atlanta Pops Orchestra, my dear friends. There's Maestro Jason Altieri and the Atlanta Pops Orchestra, who I've formed a wonderful collaboration with pretty much since I moved on from Celtic Woman, actually. We've been working kind of solidly for the last 5 years together. We tour together, and I've been very fortunate to make wonderful friends out of them. As a performer, as a singer, it's the most rewarding feeling in the world, getting to stand in front of an orchestra. And I think particularly because my father is as I said, the oboe and carongle player with our National Concert Orchestra, it feels at home. I feel at home standing in front of them. So yeah. Oh, I just saw somebody's lovely comment about me performing at the Ryman. You asked what was one of my favorite memories. It wasn't with Celtic Woman, but I will tell you this, because I think you'll appreciate this. When because I'm a big believer in things that are meant to happen, and what the stars and the universe have in store.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
Maybe you just haven't found it yet, but I do think sometimes you have to ask for it. And when I left Celtic Woman in 2013, I felt quite lost, quite unsure of. I knew I wanted to do something else with myself, but I wasn't quite sure what that was going to be, and I knew I wanted to find a new connection with music. I knew it had to come from songwriting, but I hadn't started writing anything yet. So it was all a really scary time of just change in life is always scary, right? So, but
that's right.
at the say that it was as equally liberating as it was terrifying. You know, it was both a freeing sensation too. So I went to Nashville. Thank you. I don't know who just sent in that lovely comment, but thank you for mentioning Nashville in the Ryman.
That was Joseph Brothers.
Yes, good man. So I went to the Ryman, and hallowed grounds, you know, just those sacred room. You walk in there, and I just, in all the years I had been to Nashville, I performed in Nashville, I visited. I'd never done a tour of the Ryman, and I just thought, well, you should be on the bad musicians list, because this is sacred ground, you need to go. So I went and did a tour, and I had literally only, you know, about probably 2 weeks previously just said I was going to move on from Celtic Woman. Went to the Ryman. I was on my own, and I did a little tour. And at one part of the tour guide said to me, "You guys can have the floor to yourselves now for a couple of minutes. Take your photos if you want. You know, read the signs on the walls. Just take the space in for a couple of minutes." So I wandered on my own, wandered down to a little pew, and I was taking pictures and everything. And I sat down, and I looked at the stage, and I just, you know, one of those moments where you just, you think about life, and you just go, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know where I'm going next. But my gosh, and it was one of those moments that you know, you asked me earlier of when is that you realized you really love music, you really wanted it, and I sat looking at that stage, and I thought, my gosh, this stage has housed everybody that I loved. It's been home to everyone who I consider an idol in music. You know, iconic. And I was breathing in the energy, breathing in the space. And I looked up, and I said to whoever's up there, I said, listen, if you're listening to me right now, I want to stand on that stage someday. Please, I know I've just said Celtic Woman. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm terrified, but I know I want to stand on that stage. I want to sing up there someday. And I said, whatever I've got to do, I'm going to work really hard, but I just, please, someday, let that happen for me. And anyway, moved on to Celtic Woman. That was it. That was 2013. Lo and behold, about 3.5 years later, my worlds crossed with an incredible artist who I have no doubt you aired his shows on PBS. Wonderful artist called Damien McGinty, who had a beautiful show on PBS years ago called The Music of Northern Ireland. And Eamon asked me if I would come out and perform with him on his tour he was doing in the States. And of course, I jumped at it. And we toured together. We were doing a wonderful tour. But one of the things we got to do together was perform on the Ryman Auditorium stage, part of the Grand Ole Opry. We performed We've Got Tonight, a good old country classic. And we also performed The Island, which is a beautiful song by Paul Brady, a legendary Irish songwriter here. It was really cool to perform an Irish song and a country song on the Grand Ole Opry. But it was one of those moments that I from the moment I walked into the Ryman that day, I cried my heart out. I cried and cried all day. I cried in the dressing room. I had to walk out on stage, so I knew I had to stop. So for about 3.5 minutes, I walked out on stage, composed myself, sang the song, nailed it, came off stage, and burst out crying again.
That's
how is this happening to me? This is so cool. But you know what? It was one of those moments that I think to myself, you know what? Sometimes life is hard. But just sometimes, if you want something enough, if you dream big enough for it, if you ask for it, if you put it out there into the universe, sometimes good things happen, you know.
Right.
And it was one of those moments that confirmed that for me. So yeah.
You ever sometimes pinch yourself to say, "Is this all really happening?"
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'd be bruised if I could show you all the times I pinch myself.
That is funny. I want to show a fantastic, we've already done the phenomenal introduction. And when I do my introductions, you know, I'm a talker and I can ad lib, and I've done television, radio for years. There's no dead air when I'm around because I can fill in. So that extensive introduction that I did was not even covering really everything that you've done. I've really condensed it so we can get to the chat. But there's this wonderful clip that we have, Meet the Artist, where it tells even more about your story that I think was very brilliantly created. So I want to call that up and we'll share that with our fabulous audience. I just want to welcome everybody again. I'm your host, Jim Masters. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live. We are simulcasting concurrently worldwide on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. My very special guest is the one and only Chloe Agnew, graciously joining us here. Dear friend, we've known each other for years, and this is just like meeting a friend, and there's no interview here. This is a conversation amongst friends, and you guys are joining us, and we welcome everybody from all around the world, and it's a pleasure to have everybody here, and all the beautiful comments that are coming in for Chloe and in support of Chloe, in support of the show. And we hope you'll join the show here regularly, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, or late night in Ireland. Thanks for staying up. People might not realize that you're not in New York, you're not in LA, you're in Ireland, right?
Yeah, but
you're home.
Jim, I'm a night owl, so this is fine. This is lunchtime for me. I'm ready for coffee.
You and Willie across the channel in Holland.
Yeah.
That's it, Ian. And some of the beautiful comments coming in, people touched.
Lovely, making me tear up. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your beautiful words. How lovely it is to see some familiar names popping up there with lovely, lovely words. So,
Willie in Holland says it's 2:30 a.m. in Holland, and she's still with us.
Girl.
You're a trooper, Willie, there in the Netherlands. We love you. We have some more that we want to share with folks here too, that our research department has dug up. I love this photo. Tell us about this one, Chloe.
Oh my goodness, shot by one of my favorite photographers, Mike Savoya. That actually was taken on the Celtic Thunder cruise I did in 2014. And that was one of my first official shows outside of Celtic Woman on my own, actually. I was really thankful that the Celtic Thunder family opened me with arms and just said, listen, welcome me with open arms, should I say, and just said to me, look, we're going to do this. You know, we know that our fan base would love to have you on board our Hooli weekend that they have. And that was wonderful. That was on board doing that show. But yeah, love that one. I look so like my mom. My gosh. She'd love that.
You see the resemblance. Here's another great shot.
That was in South Africa. That was a wonderful show, the Cape Town Military Tattoo Festival, which most people hear the word tattoo and they think actual tattoos. Tattoo is an old military term that comes from Doden Tapto, which is when they turned off the taps to get all the military boys home to their barracks at night, when they used to turn off all the drink taps. So they have these incredible festivals all over the world called military tattoo festivals. And I was so thankful to be asked to be one of the performers at the one in Basel in Switzerland, which was with 2,500 mass pipe and drum military musicians, which was incredible. And then I went to go on and do that one in South Africa, which wasn't quite as big as the Switzerland one, but it was still, I think, hundreds of bagpipers and drummers and everything part of this big show right in the middle, in the heart of the city of Cape Town in South Africa. And the backdrop was at the backdrop of the barracks was Table Mountain in South Africa. So wow. It was one of those moments, when you say a pinch me moment, that I was so thankful for. And it was a strange week because, you know, I had kind of just moved on from Celtic Woman. I felt, you know, I was feeling really proud of achieving some big moments in my career on my own. But I had only landed, I think I was only 2 days in South Africa, and my grandfather had passed. And it was one of those moments that I just went, you know, your two worlds collide, you know, so right. You look back at that time in your life and it's such an incredible moment to reflect on and you're thankful for it. But it was a very sad time too, because you go on every night and you have to put on a show and pretend like everything is okay and nobody knows anything, and while in actual fact it was two of the toughest weeks of my life, you know. So and you know, some photos are an amazing thing because they capture a moment in time that tells us so much about ourselves and who we are, you know.
It really is true. And when you look back at them, sometimes, you know, you forget certain things and they trigger certain memories, and that could really go in, you know, any different you know, direction, and it could be a very beautiful thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. But it's all part of the fabric of our quilt, isn't it? Of all the little things that make us the story
Who
of
we
who.
are. That's right. It's our life's journey. Here's another great shot here.
Oh, another good one. That was from the Cape of Good Hope, I want to say, from South Africa. Yeah, good one.
That's a great shot. Here's another one. Ooh, what do we have here?
Oh.
Wow.
There I am in action, aged probably 4 there, maybe 3 or 4. I was part of a wonderful music theatre school here called Billy Barry Theatre School, and it's where I learned to do all my early tap dancing and some of my earliest dancing training.
Yeah.
So that's me in full action there, baby.
Yeah, I tell you, the early days of becoming the entertainer that you are. Again, our research department did our homework, Chloe.
Right, indeed. I'm like, where the hell did you find me?
Yeah. We don't mess around here at the Jim Masters Show Live. I love this shot too.
Oh, that's me and my papa. That's us on stage together. Look at how proud my face is there. I'm just so proud sharing that moment. That was on the National Concert Hall stage the night of my debut solo show here in Ireland. And my dad, I can just about see it there. He wrote this beautiful song, an amazing song. He actually wrote it with a wonderful artist called Jamie Lawson, who is the first artist to be signed to Ed Sheeran's new record label. But my dad and Jamie wrote this song a couple of years ago called Beauty Seldom Seen. And we performed it that night on stage together. And I think for him, for me too, there was so much emotion in the fact that we were sharing the stage that he's a resident on. I, have grown up doing little shows here and there, going to see him, going to see my mum performing, and sharing the stage, performing a song he wrote was really special. And we both held it together really, really well.
Really well.
The last line, and there's a great line at the end of the song, and it said, "There's a miracle that happens when you look at me." And what's the end of the line now? I've forgotten the line because I'm carried away with the emotion. And we literally looked at each other. And I looked at him and I could see the little tears in his eyes. I was like, "Oh, don't you do it?" Because I was like, "I'm going to do it." And as soon as I saw them, I was like, holding the mic, just like, keep together. And then as soon as it finished, we just both were like, "Whoa!" So it was it was one of those moments. I think you could hear everyone in the audience choking up too, It was
yeah.
Very beautiful, special moment. So then that holding each other's hand was like, we did it. We got through it without crying.
That is amazing. Again, another memory, another great, beautiful moment there. And there's a couple more here that's really a wonderful. I love this one too. Is that South Africa?
No, that's actually Switzerland.
Wow, Switzerland.
Switzerland, yes. And you can't see it there, but there are thousands of musicians standing behind me all in their phenomenal different uniforms representing their tartans and their cultures, and they're all there performing with their instruments. It was just spectacular. It was, the loudest show I've ever performed on, because you're just listening to so many instruments all in the one place. But it was just spectacular.
Yeah, and you can see the joy in your face,
Going, is this actually happening? Wow.
Yeah, isn't it? We're both blessed. We get to do work that we love, and that's so important. When you get a chance to do that and share with the audience and really.
For sure, yeah. So you can see the whole back of the barracks there. They were projecting these wonderful images on it, and it was just visually a spectacular show, but also just musically one of the most rewarding moments in my career.
That's quite an honor. Yeah, that really is a beautiful honor, and this is a great shot too.
Total disbelief, that's a face of how is this happening to me?
Yeah, exactly. Look at that.
Look at that! What? Standing, being part of that every night for just over 2 weeks in Switzerland was just spectacular. Yeah.
And those are fireworks going off in the background?
Every night, yeah, we had this most incredible, that was the finale of the show, and every night they had this firework display that they would put off. So we had thousands of people at the show every night. Some days we did 2 shows a day. We would do an afternoon show, and we were in the sweltering heat and humidity of a Swiss summer that year. But and I mean, look, I'm thankful. I'm standing there in my dress. My heart went out to those poor men in the big thick uniforms with the big caps and woolly socks, and then they're holding big instruments and bagpipes and everything too. So they were the real heroes of that gig. I just got to enjoy the ride.
That's right. And that you did. Here's another cool shot. I like this one here.
That was a photo I actually said to the guy at the front of the mirror. It's like, look, you have to take this picture for my mom and my dad, please.
Chloe Agnew, sold out. And theater. Absolutely. Love this one too.
Oh, thank you. My wonderful friend, Damien McGinty, who's not only a talented artist, but is a talented photographer too. He took that for me. That was in my local park in LA. Not very glamorous at all, but I'm standing in front of a tree that I take my dogs to the park every day to.
I love hearing you say that. You sound like my cousins. That was at me local. That was at me local park in LA.
So glamorous.
Yeah.
Red Rocks. So good. Look at that. What a shot. What a shot. Oh God. What good times. And those you look at photos like that, and right now those times seem like a thing of the past, which is so scary, you know. So I can only hope that those good times will come again for all of us.
Wow. Holy cow.
That video since 2011, whenever it came out, and it was so beautiful to see it again after all these years. My God. Thank you for sharing that. That was so lovely.
Bring on the Kleenex. Bring on the your voice is, you know, it's like Batha. It's so beautifully smooth and rich and textured. And I've known that for years, all the years I've known you through Celtic Woman and your solo career as well. But it's a gift from above, isn't it?
Thank you very much. I'm very thankful from whoever it is that gave me the good stock that I come from. I know I have good genes, you know. I've said the line a million times before. My grandfather had a good line that he used to say, if you hang around wet paint long enough, some of it's bound to rub off. And I reckon that's what happened to me. Growing up in a musical family, I'm very thankful that I have musical chops. But my grandfather, my dad's father, was an incredible singer. My mother's mother and father were both amateur musical society performers. They both performed. My mum is an amazing musician, as is my dad. So I think I'm thankful that it comes from good stock. But you know, I never take it for granted. I don't. I think you only, like I said, you only ever think you're as good as your last gig, your last job. But I certainly am very thankful that having the voice that I do, I'm very thankful that it's given me opportunities for moments like that in my life. You know, when I look at videos like that back, I forget that those things happened. And the fact that music is the path that led me there is something I feel incredibly thankful for.
And that's, again, that's the key to it all, because that brings you the joy and the blessing that drives you forward to continue to inspire and empower people and lift them through your music, you know?
Yeah, you can only hope so, you know. Like I think, and that's the thing, you know, is realizing you're not always going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay, you know. But that if you just kind of, it's the oldest line in the book. It's so cliched, but if you just keep doing you know, if you just keep sticking to what you do, and you know, you stay true to who you are, and whatever gift you've been given, in whatever way that is in life, whatever talent you've been given, or whatever good communication skill you've been given with people, or whatever it is, we all have our strengths, you know. And I think once you learn that, and you figure out how to make that part of your life that can do you good, that's the best thing that can happen, you know. So I'm thankful for music being that for me.
Absolutely. And it continues to as well. And even the acting bug, like you said, has bitten you as well, which is another great area of your work. Here's
and not in, because that Meet the Artist is a little out of date, but I've actually been doing some voiceover stuff too. And I'm part of a new online children's series for anybody who is watching here, who have little ones or grandkids or anybody who they want to share it with. It's a new online show called Planet Peekaboo, and it's in its very early stages of conception and all that right now, but I play a little character called Rachel, and she is all about art bringing out your smart. So art, she's all about creativity is your smart, you know. So yeah, she's a little character, and so we're starting to release some stuff online now over the next while, and yeah, if anybody wants to have a little laugh at me doing something completely random and different and doing my best American cartoon little girl voice, there you go. You can have a listen to it on YouTube.
Can you share a little bit of the sound so we can hear it?
Oh God, really? Okay, ready? Hi, I'm Peekaboo Rachel. Art brings out your smart. There you go.
You got that down. You got it down. Perfect. Brilliant. That's cool. That's like, again, just another opportunity, right? That comes your way and you embrace it and you run with it and you grow from it, and you're inspiring young minds too, which is cool.
That's the hope in it, is that, yes, look, art, I do believe art brings out your smart. You know, when you look at what art can do, what creativity can do for children, it allows them to express their emotions in ways that words fail them. They don't have the vocabulary yet, so they're allowed to express their creativity, their imagination. And statistics have proven it unlocks a part of our brain that allows us to engage with a piece of ourselves that sometimes words or actions don't allow us to do that. So creativity and art just brings out something quite unique in all of us. And when you see that happen in its early stages of development and growth, particularly in children, you realize the importance of it, because that's where art and creativity is born and nurtured from a young age, you know. And unfortunately nowadays, with government and budget cuts, art is always the first thing to go. Music and art education is always the first thing to be cut from the curriculum. So you're looking at schools all over the world right now that are cutting these programs from their school, when in actual fact they're the things that are kind of the release for a lot of children that they may need. You know, they might not find it in sports, they may not find it in academia, but creativity and art is where they can find their home and their niche. So if we can kind of do anything right now to instill that message in people that, you know, school aside, if you just do it for fun, you just do it, it brings out something else new and fun in you, you know. So we're trying to engage and encourage that in the younger generation, because nowadays it's so easy. Kids just sit with a phone or an iPad in front of them or a television screen in front of them. They forget paintbrushes and crayons and pen and paper exist. You know, they're wonderful tools that can activate the mind and keep it engaged for hours upon end. That sometimes a phone might fail. The game gets boring after a while, whereas, you know, paints is always fun. So we're trying to encourage that right now in a time where technology is just taking over. We want to bring it back a little old school, you know.
Well, you know, during everything we've been going through, a lot of people that I've noticed, and I do it too, and I think I mentioned to you in the past maybe, that the ocean for me is my go-to place. So I love to go to the ocean. I surf, swim, boogie board. I mean, I'm always in the ocean. People have to drag me out of the ocean when we got to go home. And I live here along the coast, so we're lucky. But a lot of people are getting back in touch with nature. They're going outside for walks. They're going through the forest. They're going to the coast. And that's really important, right?
Oh my gosh. This morning, 20-minute drive from my house, not even 15, 20-minute drive from my house, myself and my best friend, we were like, you know what? Let's just go and explore somewhere just outside of Dublin that we've never been before. It's 15, 20 minutes from your house. Let's go. And it's like, I live in just outside of Dublin city centre. This is essentially the Irish wilderness, the countryside. And I'm up there and I'm like, this is only a few minutes from my house. And I've never seen these views, this landscape, just appreciating the land that I'm born on. And yes, re-engaging with nature. At one stage, it started to even drizzle down a little rain, and it was so beautiful because it was just like, all of this is something to just appreciate right now. So yeah, I encourage it right now. Absolutely. If you can, get out, if you have the capability to do that, to just engage in some kind of small activity, whether it just be walking or cycling or some kind of nature. Get to water, get to a forest, get to somewhere that you can just engage in that atmosphere, because 100% there's something that it serves the soul that you can't find anywhere else. And I even this evening, myself and my mom, we went out, we took the dogs out for a walk, and I've started running. I'm not a runner. I don't run, but I've decided in COVID that I needed something to do with my brain, and I just wanted to be out in nature, and I wanted to put on a podcast and just go somewhere, escape for something, you know. And so I discovered it's literally 3.5 minutes run from my house, this incredible waterfall that I never knew existed. We're living here 15, 20 years in this neighborhood, and there it is, you know, buried, a well-kept secret. But yes, I encourage it for anybody right now. If you can, if you have the ability to get out to some water, like you said, to the beach, or even just to your local park. Like, you know what, even just a local park, to just get outside and get some fresh air into the brain and the lungs. Even if you live in a smog-filled city, it's right. Better than being indoors. So yeah, absolutely.
I
need to encourage that. Keep your social distance, but if you can, get out and try and soak in a little bit of nature. It'll do the soul the world of good. So when I moved on from Celtic Woman, I wanted to write something new, different. It's a little bit pop, it's a little bit upbeat and feel good. It's different to anything I've done before, you know, and I just wanted to make music that was going to make you feel good. And so I wrote that song, and it's called The Thing About You, obviously, but I wrote The Thing About You. The thing for me was Ireland. You know, I was writing about this place that I love, but I was kind of relating it as if it was a person. I wanted to tell this thing that I loved so much, how much of a impact it was making on me as a person, you know, and that it was shaping me to be the person that I am. But when I wrote it, I went, well, I want anybody who listens to this to think of their dog or their sister or their boyfriend or their guitar or their, you know, I was like, I want them to think of whatever it is that's the thing that makes you feel home. You know, whatever is the thing that makes you feel like that's the person that you are, and what's the thing, they're the thing that makes you feel like you're coming home. I wanted to represent that in the video. So I basically called up loads of people that I know and love. Everybody that you see in that video means something to me. They've all had an impact on my life in some way. And they all have some different characteristics and traits about them that make them unique and beautiful and special and individual. And I wanted to highlight that and showcase that in the video, and that they're all the things that I love about them, that they all have something different to share with the world. And so we just had fun. We just were like, you know what, let's just have a bit of fun. They're all people I know and love, and we had a great time. It was the first time that I've ever shot and edited anything myself, and it was a bit of fun. And we just went, you know what, that's what we set out to achieve. And I look back on that, and it just brings a smile to my face. It does. And my two little dogs, Bonnie and Clyde, even made it in. They made it in the cut at the end.
Well, that's what Linda says, that loves seeing Bonnie and Clyde at the end.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde made the cut. I had to put them in there.
And Karen,
thank you for that beautiful comment. That is the best thing I've just seen. That's just made my whole night. Oh my God. How lovely. I'm so glad y'all love it. Oh my God, Nicola O'Sullivan is still up. She's an Irish gal. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's up watching this. I love you, Nicola. Thank you for sitting up and watching this with us. You're the best.
Look who else is still there in Holland at almost 4 a.m.
Willie!
Willie is there. She liked it. And thank you, Jim and Chloe. And thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Jim. They love it all. And This is fantastic. I mean, it's really, the comments are really amazing that we're getting.
Oh.
Fresh air in the lungs, Chloe Agnew in the ears doesn't get much better.
Can I get that on a t-shirt? That's great.
I was going to say, with levity.
That's great.
Looks like a lot of people have switched over to Facebook as funky sometimes. So everybody's moved over to YouTube, which is fantastic because that's where everything is archived anyway, at YouTube, at Jim Masters TV. Your eyes are piercing in a wonderful way.
Jerry, well, you say all the right things.
Yeah, but you know who said it first? Jerry.
Jerry. You say all the right things.
Yeah, this was really fantastic. And oh my God, the comments are still coming in.
Vibes, Jim. How lucky are you that you have a beautiful place online here? You know, online can be such an awful, scary, nasty, not nice place full of not nice things. And and blessed, and how thankful are we that you have a platform here that you celebrate good. You know, it's all about positivity and sharing some good vibes, and everyone who's on here tonight only has love and positivity to share. And my God, with everything that's going on in the world right now, do we all not need a little bit of this? This is so good for the soul. It's so nice.
I'll toast to that.
Yeah, yes, baby. Slancha.
Slancha is right. So, you know, and all the things you've been doing, you know, in your life and in your career, what are some of the things that you hope to do that are sort of on that Chloe bucket list?
Oh my goodness, good question. Music aside, I would love to travel some more. I'm a real little Dora the Explorer at heart. I love to travel, so I would really love to do that more, just to educate my mind and my traveling soul with more of the world. I'd love to see that. But I think work-wise, you know, I definitely want to keep creating some more music. You know, the more life experiences I have, and the more I get connected to vocalizing the feelings that I feel and stuff like that, you know, actually putting them into words. I would love to really focus more on songwriting for the next few years. I want to explore some more stuff like voiceover animation. That's really been exciting for me. Disney has always been a dream. So whether it be a voiceover or a song with them, that'd be really cool to do. Art, honestly, I'm really enjoying the art that I'm doing at the moment. And my dream someday is to have a little children's book. I'd love to have a little children's book of a story with some little pictures and stuff that I've helped create. That would be really cool. I really would love to try and establish my own kind of brand of stuff that I have someday. I have an idea for a little candle line I'd love to do. I have a little idea for prints, for home textile stuff. So I don't know. I think, you know, for me, I've been living out of a suitcase since I was 14, pretty much, you know, and I've been separated a lot from the people who I love, and the things that matter most to me in life. And I think, you know, it's funny, a lot of people my age now have finished years in college. They've kind of finally saved up enough that they can kind of start living out on their own or moving away from their parents and stuff. I've kind of done a lot of that since I was a young age. So not that I feel like I've got that out of my system, but I kind of feel like, okay, what else can I do now that I've got a lot, you know, of adult stuff in a short, young period of my life, that I now kind of feel I don't necessarily want to have to live out a suitcase to make a living for the rest of my life. I don't want to have to keep saying goodbye to people I love. So I want to figure out something that allows me to tour when I'd like to tour, as opposed to when I have to tour, you know, and that's the reality of being a musician in this industry these days, is that there is no there's no money in recorded music anymore. There's no money in albums. There's none of that. So you kind of have to make your living from touring and from merch and those kind of things. And I'm so beyond bloody blessed that I have had the opportunity of Celtic Woman, and I have dear, incredible fan base. Like the people who are on here tonight, they are the hardcore Clovers that always show up. They never let me down. They're always the first to share my stuff. They're always the first to be online on something like this. They're always the ones who come through with messages that keep me going and doing what I'm doing. And like, there are so many of them. I'm so thankful there are so many incredible fans. But there are a core group of people, and they know who they are. And they're the ones who keep me going and doing what I'm doing. And I think as long as music will always be a part of my life. I'll always continue to make music and do that. But I think they are also the first people who will be the first ones behind me doing something different. They're the first ones who, when I say, I want to try a bit of acting, I want to try a bit of voiceover, I want to try this, they're the first ones who are like, yeah, give that a go. We're behind you. We love that. You know, so they make me believe I could do anything. I know that sounds super cliched and corny, but you know, I think life is so short, and we have to. I'm preaching. This is pot calling the kettle black here. You know, I'm preaching myself here, just saying. You know, I want to try more things. I want to do more things, and I think if anything else, COVID has given me that time to have that perspective and right. to reflect and reassess what are the values that are most important to you in life. What are the things that you need most in life? And I think probably having this intense quality time at home with family and everything, and with my 2 dogs, has made me go, yeah, I don't want to have to be in hotel rooms for the next 30 years of my life, you know, in order to make a living. So it's a scary time of uncertainty and change and big questions. I'm glad you asked them, because I'm kind of asking them myself.
Right, exactly.
Where do I go next? What do I want to do? So I'm kind of figuring it out. And I think if anything, you know, I'm an overthinker and an over-worrier at the best of times. And I think if anything right now, it's just taught me, look, breathe. Right. Day at a time, one day at a time. Right now, we can't predict what's going to happen next week. We can't even predict what's going to happen next year. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of going, you just got to, you know, take this time. Yes, baby. Yes. I will just relax. I got to tell myself that. I'm all about that right now. I'm all about.
We have everything here at the Jim Masters Show.
You got all the props. I want the silver dog back again. Where's Silver gone? I want the silver dog. Yeah. My favorite one. But yeah, look, I think I'm preaching to. I wish I could take some. Oh, no, that's terrifying, Jim. That's kind of terrifying. It's kind of like the lead character of the Stephen King novel.
George Burns.
The character props, and then that was one of my highlights. I Dream Genie.
She's in there. She's waving to you. You see her in there? She's waving. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
How you doing in there? You doing well? Yes. Yes, master. You got to have fun in life, right? You got to have fun.
Have fun. Look, there's enough.
The Irish love to have fun.
We just love to have fun. We love to have the good crack, you know? Yeah. You know that I have to actually reiterate that for all your viewers. Crack in Ireland is CRAIC.
It's a
good thing. It's like, come on, you have the crack with us. But I have to say that for all our American listeners, because sometimes people look at me and go,
Wait. Did I just hear Chloe's on crack? Wait, what?
Chloe's on crack and she's looking for crack. Oh God, yeah, it's an Irishism, I swear.
Absolutely. That's funny. Some great comments coming in here. So many great people. Somebody did ask, any plans to work with Disney?
Neve, who do you know? Who can you call, babe? Put in a good word. Right. That's the dream. That is the dream. You know, since I was a little girl, I just wanted to be a Disney princess. So yeah, my dream is to do anything remotely related to Disney World. Would be incredible. Yeah.
A singer-songwriter career in Nashville would make it easy to visit Lisa in Peachtree City.
I am looking at spending some more time in Nashville. I am. It's somewhere that I'm falling more and more in love with as the years go by, as a place that I want to live. So we'll see.
Willie in Holland asked a musical, perhaps being a part of a musical.
musical, I would love to do something on Broadway, something on the West End. Anything musical theatre would be a huge, huge dream and on my bucket list for me. 100% Willie. Yeah, she's on track. My kind of woman. Love it.
Mm-hmm. You would be amazing as a princess.
I'll take that. Jerry, do you want to be my prince?
He's the one that said the eyes, right? Exactly.
Oh my God, I'm already in there. Great.
Chloe in North Carolina. Chloe, Ernestine in North Carolina. Chloe, you have a beautiful voice. Renee in Iowa, we need positive in our lives. They're all watching on YouTube right now. I think Facebook is being a little funky as usual, but loved you in Branson.
Oh, thank you, Dwayne.
Can't wait to see you on stage with Celtic Woman again next year.
So that's the plan. Hopefully next year we'll be back out on the road. Right now, if anybody wants to see them, they're already listed on Celtic Woman's websites, a lot of our rescheduled dates. So please God, spring of next year, we will be back out to finish the celebration tour. Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So when you look at all of this body of work and everything that you've been doing and have done, I know, like you said, you pinch yourself often. What are some of the things that continue to bring you the greatest blessing and joy in all of this experience, this life's journey that you're on, and all the people that you've met and all the wonderful art you've been able to create and continue to create, my friend? What are some of those things that continue to point you in that forward direction and inspire you on a daily basis?
People, humans, honestly, like humans are the things that have changed my life, you know, and my 2 dogs. I have to give my 2 dogs credit. But, you know, everything from when I look at the impact that my family have had on me as a person, who they've shaped me to be as a performer. When I look at who my friends, my colleagues, the musicians, the entertainers who I am inspired by, the ones who I aspire to be like, they're the ones who shape and change me as a person and performer. And then fans, the people who actually listen to your music, the people who actually watch your stuff, who care, who give a shit about what you do. They are the people who shape and change me and continue to give me what I do. So when I look at all aspects of my life and my career, they are shaped by people and by humans. So I can only hope to continue to do things and find a reason to have a voice, to be able to feel like you have something to contribute to society in a meaningful way. And this time of COVID has been great. As I said, it's been a time of reflection, but I feel like I've also written a couple of songs that I don't think I'd ever have written had this not happened, you know, and I'm due to go in and record a new original album of music. But I feel like in the last 6 months alone as a person, I am the trajectory of who I am and my life and my focus has shifted, as I'm sure it has for many of us. So I kind of think hopefully that is something that I can continue to take on board and appreciate that the people in my life, in whatever way it is, like even only this week, I woke up to a message to find out that a beautiful, beautiful fan of mine, I have loved him for many, many years. He has supported me since I was a little girl. Him and his wife and his daughters have come along to the show. And Mike has just been the most incredible supporter of mine. And I woke up to a message from 2 of his daughters this week to find out he had passed. And when I tell you, I sat and sobbed my little heart out. I cried and cried and cried for 20 minutes, half an hour solidly while I was composing a message back to them and wanted to send a song to them so that they could play it at his funeral. And for the whole day, I was a mess, and my family saw that here in Ireland. And it was one of those moments that it reminded me how much humans and people have impacted my life and my career, of that in the most positive ways. You know, if that somebody like a comet can come into your life because they appreciate your music, they appreciate what you do, but they don't realize what a bright, beautiful light they bring into your world. And then when it burns out and it passes on to another one, you think of the impact it's left on you, and it's quite remarkable. And I think I can only hope to continue to, whatever I do in my life moving forward, it will be the people in my world who will continue to give me the fuel and the energy and the joy that I need to continue on doing what I do. Because in the happiest of times and in the saddest of times, it's music and it's people who I love, who will continue to keep me doing what I do, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I look at it the same way. That's the driving force. And when you get the feedback, I mean, when you get feedback from people who come up to you, and I get that in my work on television, radio, somebody will be watching or following what I do because I wear many different hats. You know, public television is one thing I've done, but I host this show, that show, this show, and all these different networks and stations and venues all these years, iHeartRadio, I mean, everywhere. Oh, yeah. You get different people who have seen you in different roles and different things you've done, and they'll come up to you and they'll say, wow, you know, you were on that, or you did that, or you were in this and you're on that. And you've inspired me and you've touched me. And I've always been, you know, afraid to come up to you to tell you that. But now you said or did something that really touched me. That's beautiful when people come up to you or they post something or they write to you. I feel the same way with me. That really moves you and just gives you the juice to want to keep going, right?
Oh, 100%. And I think I was only having this conversation with my little brother the other day, because he has just, he's my half brother. He's just turned 14. And we were having the conversation about the internet, and he's new to social media apps. He's new to, you know, becoming part of that trend online and everything. And I was trying to explain to him, look, I know you're a millennial, you're with it, you know, you probably know more about these apps and online stuff than I do, fine. But I feel as your sister, I need to tell you that everything that you see, you read online is not going to be real. It's not going to be true. It's not going to be fair. It's not going to be kind. You know, and I feel like from the youngest age, I have had, you know, online through YouTube, Facebook, everything, I've had to read the most awful, horrible things said about myself. I've had to read lies. I've had to read untrue things, you know, but all of that aside, it's the people who come through with the messages that say, your music inspires me. Your message helped me today. I was feeling really crap and your music made me feel better. Your show picked me up this evening, or something you said made me laugh, something, or a community. Like when I look at the world that the community Celtic Woman provides, even on here tonight, there's everybody. Hi, everyone. You know, it's an inclusive community that you in a world where we are continually being divided and, you know, opinionated about everything, and there's a cancel culture and a lot of people ready to jump on a hate bandwagon.
Yes.
At the end of the day, there is still so much lovely, good people coming through that, you know, through all the noise, managed to find themselves. And you know, even on here tonight, it's all good vibes, it's all good feels, and you just go, you know what, that is the one thing that you can only continue to hope to, for me to educate someone like my little brother to go, you know what, I know there's a lot of horrible noise, and yes, the internet can be a toilet at the best of times, but there's still so much good out there. There's a way for you to access people who think like you and feel like you, and it's the good world, not the people who think, you know, keyboard warriors who just want to spew hate online. There are people out there who want to find each other and build a meaningful community of people who can bond over a mutual love of something, whether it be your TV show, whether it be music, whether it be whatever they follow online. You know, that there are people there who can unite and find each other through that. And it warms my heart that I see fans who come along to our shows who are friends because they met each other through our shows. You know, that's so cool. I'm like, that's awesome that you can find.
It's true.
You know?
I find that here too. Like even with this show, they'll say hello to me first, and then they're all saying hello to each other. Hi, Renee. Hi, Willie. Hi, you know, Tom.
Willie's got to be a superstar at this stage. I mean, everyone's got to know Willie, right? Like, you know. So like that's amazing that they have each other as a community to know those familiar names, and we need that particularly right now when we are all physically being kept apart from each other, and even that spews over into a kind of a subconscious mental distance we put between each other. So if we can find these times to connect and reach out to people, it's so much more needed than people think, you know.
Exactly right. And that's the kind of man, you know me for many years. That's the kind of atmosphere that I like to create. I like to create an atmosphere that is warm and inviting and fun and light and encouraging and empowering with everything that I do professionally, or even just if I'm outside with friends or family. I like it to be light and fun. And, you know, we have our serious times, we have our deep conversations, things of that nature, but it always comes back to lifting each other up. And I like to create an environment, even with this show, which is why we get all this wonderful response of positivity, the guests enjoying it, the viewers enjoying it. It's because I really want to create this place where people, first of all, you know, we have these extended conversations because I want people to really get to know the essence of who Chloe is. Wow. Not just the wonderful talent and everything they see and hear, but to be left with, wow, you know, I watched that and I learned things about her that I didn't know. And I feel even closer to her and closer to the show and closer to the whole thread of it all. And I love facilitating that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do that, because in a time where most things are 30 seconds to a minute long because they have to be for social media purposes, it's really nice to have an opportunity to just chat, you know, and just be humans, which is what we all are in this time, and have everybody tuning in and engaging with us tonight is so nice. It feels like you're part of a little family on here, which is lovely. So thank you for being the papa of that.
And from around the world too, so many people, and you know, it's really fantastic to see this.
Brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic, great conversations here. It's amazing. So I wanted to just go back to some of the photos I showed earlier in the open. Look at this one here, huh?
Oh my God, Jim! Can I tell you, when you showed that earlier, I actually wish people could have heard my audio, because I was sitting here going, oh my God. I was literally like, I remember that as if that was 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm not even joking. I remember that day. I remember how wonderful your cologne smelled. I remember the whole atmosphere, how incredible the whole studio was, how fun the whole day was. Like, I remember that as if that was yesterday. And I'm looking at that photo being like, oh my God, that feels like a lifetime ago too, you know? So
yeah. Yeah. And that's like, you know, like an original group of friends there, you know? And
I know, that's the OGs. That was probably Songs from the Heart. Because that, for me, the Songs from the Heart DVD that we did at Power Scores, really kind of, I know New Journey was big for Celtic Woman. It was a big one for us. But for me, Songs from the Heart took Celtic Woman to this different kind of level for us. It was a whole different kind of level of production that we put out there. It showcased Ireland and Power Sport Townhouse and Gardens in just a really beautiful light. I thought the music choice was really strong from it, and we had such a fun time touring that show, and also doing the PBS stations. But like, I'm not just saying this because I'm on your show. I need you and all your viewers and listeners tonight to know this. You know, you're like our darling, the Celtic Woman darling. Like, Jim, if Jim Masters or Connecticut PBS TV is on our touring list or our promo schedule, it's like oh my gosh, okay, that's the reward. We'll do all the promo, we'll do all the hair and makeup at 3 a.m. and on air at 6. We'll do all of that because we know we're going to get to see Jim Masters, and it's going to be great. We're going to have the best fun. We're going to, like, you were always, if we saw you on our like promo schedule, it was like, that's a highlight. We're going to get to see Jim Masters in Connecticut.
Here's another cool. Here's another.
I can't forget Pat. Oh my gosh, look.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, look at us. You wearing your lovely emerald green sweater for us that night. I remember that all too well. Too good. My gosh. Lots
of smiles there.
Too, like seeing the show change so much over the years, seeing the different lineups, the different girls. Look at those baby faces. Oh my God.
Another great shot.
Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
with
who
a
was
wonderful Murray.
Quiff in that, Jim? You or me?
Right.
I don't know who was the better hair quiff in it, like you or me. Somebody's got a really good bangs going on at the front there, and I'm not sure it's you or me. You win.
And that was when you were there with Nathan. Yeah, in studio last year.
February last year. Yeah. Oh, that was the best day. My God. It's just like friends reunited after the longest time. It was so lovely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really cool stuff. When you look back at it all, it's really amazing, you know?
Have those moments captured in time. I love it.
So people probably are asking too. There's a couple of questions they had. One is, I think, what kind of music does Chloe like to listen to?
Oh, good question. So I'm going to be really weird in saying that I'm actually not a big music listener. I know that sounds really strange, but even as I get older, I'm not really a big music listener, only because I have to be doing a very certain thing to listen to music. And I know that might sound mad to people, because my sister, I envy her. She can sit down and do her emails. She can be on the phone. She can be, whatever she's doing, and she can have music on the background. My problem is sometimes if I do that, all I can hear is that. I can't think of anything else. It's all I can hear. I'm already thinking, okay, we're actually through the first verse now. We're about to hit the second chord. I'm listening to, oh, those drums are programmed really well. Oh, actually, is that what that guitar part did? Like, I analyze it, I break it down. So I don't actually sometimes listen to the music and just enjoy it, So I actually would be a really big podcast listener. I love listening to podcasts. I'm big into that. If I do, look, don't get me wrong. In our house here in Ireland, you can't walk into a room and there's not some kind of audio stimulation, whether it be a television or the radio or somebody playing an instrument. It's kind of a thing. So I'm very used to listening to, obviously my mother comes from primarily a kind of a more musical theater, contemporary crossover background, whereas my dad, although my mum's a huge classical music aficionado and lover, my dad would be a lot more kind of involved musically wise in the kind of classical world. So and then just growing up, I've learned I was always that person who said, if somebody asked you to put on their music at a party, whether it be a playlist or put your iPod on or whatever, I would never offer up mine, because I'd be terrified of what the playlist might play you, because it'll just go everything from classical to rap to rock to pop to indie to grunge, country. I'm a huge country music lover, so there's everything in there. It's a hot pot. So when I do listen to music, I've got a couple of biggies who I'd love to collab with someday. The likes of Celine Dion, Josh Groban. I've said it along. They're always my gods. And then in recent years, the likes of the great singer-songwriters for me that have come out, the likes of Ed Sheeran, Adele, wonderful writers that are just having their voice heard through true original lyrics. I love that. So inspired in many different ways. I'm not a big music. I wouldn't be. I envy friends of mine who morning and night they just put on music and they just play playlist back to back. I kind of can't do that, because I just can't get anything else done, because it's all I can hear,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You like writing music?
I do. I love it. Yeah. Again, I've heard people say different things about songwriting, of that, like, some people, it's a practice that they get up every morning and they religiously write for the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of their morning, and that's their writing done for the day. And I think that's admirable. So I think each to their own. Everybody has a different way of doing what they do, right? So it just, for me, it's wherever you find your natural, organic inspiration or creativity. It doesn't matter. Just do it when it comes, So, but then there's people who say it's like a songwriting is like a dirty tap. You've got to turn it on, let all the really crap, dirty water run first. That's kind of no use until the clear stuff runs, until all the clear thoughts and what you actually want to say starts coming. So I've kind of tried. Songwriting is relatively. I've written poetry since I was a little girl. I've always been writing, but actually mathematically constructing it into a song format has kind of really only been something that I've heavily focused on familiarizing myself with and wanting to do in the last couple of years, really only since I moved on from Celtic Woman. So I kind of feel like I'm still relatively a newbie to this songwriting world, and I'm finding out that whatever way you do how you do, that's fine, as long as the creativity comes one way or the other, you know. So I've been really enjoying it, and like I said, I think particularly in these times, the last few months, when the plug was pulled on my world, on all of our worlds, I came home, and it was really weird. It was like a light switch. It was like somebody just turned it off and went, nope, you're just going to be in the dark for a while. You're going to be in this place where you don't know what comes next. You can't think of anything. You don't want to even think about trying to construct something beautiful and meaning into lyrics, because you don't know where your head is at right now. And it was actually through all of that, then coming out of that, you know, when they say in the darkest of nights, that's when the stars shine the brightest, you know, that it was like, it was through that I kind of went, okay, I'm starting to see some clarity. I actually, maybe I need to start writing about how weird I feel right now and how uncertain this is, and starting to kind of just being not afraid to say that out loud, and sharing that with friends and saying, yeah, I feel really weird right now. I don't know if I'm okay, and all of those kind of things. I don't know where to find my creative musical purpose from, all of that kind of thing. You actually pull from other people's energies. And when people say to you, actually, I feel pretty shit too, you know, like when they say that, there's a beautiful unity and bond that comes from that. And through that, I've actually written some really great songs with people, because we've just been able to allow ourselves to be honest and just go, it's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say you want to put all of those thoughts into feelings right now. And even through that, there's something transformative that happens, because once you allow yourself to say all of those negative things, you can kind of also shed some light on the good things too. You can also go, okay, I'm really not happy about this. I don't like this, but I do know, because of those things, that I do really like this. I'm really thankful that I have my family. I'm really thankful that I can eat at night. I'm really thankful that I have 2 dogs that love me. I'm really thankful I have fans who want me to continue to make music. You know, so like through the dark, you start to see a lot of the light too, you know. And I think that's what writing has allowed me to do, because once you start to see those words on a page, you start to really understand who you are and what you're actually feeling, you know. And so I encourage it. Even if you never want to write a song in your life, journaling is a really good thing for people to do. Just to sit down and to physically write, if you can, just physically write a couple of lines down about how you're feeling or what you did that day. You know, it's a really good way for us to be able to have a Geiger counter on our well-being and our path of who we are and where we should go. You know, I think it's really helped me anyway, of just getting it out there. Isn't that what Shrek says? Better out than in. Better out than in. Just share it, you know? Get it out there.
That is so true, Chloe. And Kathleen says, my father introduced me to the Celtic Woman music, so that's how I became a fan. You are terrific. Suzanne asks, do you write both music and lyrics? So do you compose and are you doing the lyrics?
I do. Yeah, I do. I'm pretty, as most people know, I'm pretty useless. Well, I'm not useless, but I'm nervous on piano and guitar. I love playing them, but I'm terrified of playing them in front of anybody. So I kind of, if I'm in a room with people who I know are better musicians physically than me, I will, or instrumentalists, I will 100% let them take the car. But I'm a total, you know, horse in my own way, that I'll kind of say like, well, I have an idea here. I know you're playing that, but this is how I think it should sound. So I will, you know, I will have my voice heard if I think it will serve the purpose of the song right. But I will write both music and lyrics. And if I get a hook in my head, you know, I was only listening to a great podcast the other day. It's actually 2 friends of mine. It's called Around the Sound for anybody who are music lovers, they interview singers and songwriters about their writing process. And Megan was talking about how I won't say his name because he's really famous, but he's a really famous, well-known, Grammy-nominated, winning, incredible singer or songwriter from Nashville. He doesn't sing and he doesn't play an instrument, yet he's one of the most renowned songwriters in the world. So, that, if anything, to me, always, if there's anybody who's listening here who goes, oh, well, I'm not musically inclined, or, oh, well, I have this idea in my head for a song, but I don't know how to put any words to it. That's okay. That's what everybody in a room is for. I can walk into some rooms and somebody's a really good lyricist or somebody's a really good hook person. They can just come up with loads of real catchy tunes. Or then you walk into a room and you hear somebody say, I'm just the energy person. I'm just the vibe for the day. I come into the room and so much of songwriting is just finding out who you are as people, and you talk to each other and you go, what's going on in your life? What's going on in yours? How can we connect or feel unified over a topic that we can both feel compelled to write about, So I think that's the beauty of a songwriting room. And some days you can go in and I could be useless at lyrics that day, but maybe a couple of good melodies will come to me, or vice versa, so it's there's no rules to it. I think that's the one thing I learned by the most amazing man, Rob Seals, in Los Angeles in the songwriting school of music in LA. And he said to me that, look, when it comes to writing music, you just need to know there's one rule. There's no rules. And I was like, that's awesome. That it's like when it comes to writing music, you do you, and that's why there's kind of a pocket for everybody for their own genre. And you look at what music is nowadays. Anybody can be a superstar from their bedroom. Like Billie Eilish and her brother have blown up. They created that whole record in their bedroom together. Like Hozier wrote his whole record, recorded it all in his attic in his house in Dublin. Like, so, you look at music, lyrics, whatever can be born out of nothing. But once the work and the music and the heart of and the integrity of what you're trying to do is there, then good will always come through. So I kind of don't make anything up when I go into a room. I say I write music and lyrics. Some days it could be music, some days it could be lyrics, some days it might be both, some days it might be nothing. You just gotta go with the flow,
You just go with the flow. Question from Joseph Brothers asking, what happens behind the scenes when you do solo shows? How do you round up musicians, practice? And it's all totally amazing, but that whole process can be really major.
Yeah, like I think I said it earlier on. That for me was one of the scariest parts of leaving Celtic Woman, because as I said to you earlier, you're a cog in this incredible machine, and you're so thankful because there are so many wonderful people who are good at what they do to do those things for you. So you show up and your dress is already steamed. The musicians are already warmed up. They're already in place. They've already been fed. They have a bed for the night, So when you have to do that yourself, you have to think of what musicians you want to book. You have to get them all their charts. You have to organize the rehearsal. You have to pay for the rehearsal. You have to make sure they've got food, drink, somewhere to sleep that night. All of those things, like they're small factors, but they're all things that contribute to you doing what you do, So that was a huge challenging kind of tool for me. When it comes to what your question is of where do you pool those people, where do you find those people? Again, I rely heavily on who I know. Like it's the best of what you know is literally whether I go to, if I'm trying to find musicians, I go to my favorite musicians and I go, are you available for the job? If you're not, who can you give me that you think will be great for the job? And, I'm taking your word on this. This is on you, that you're going to give me somebody who is going to do the job as well as I know I want you to do it, So I've been lucky to kind of pull from that world over the last few years. And then for me, a lot of it as well of when I've been, the joy of going into some cities on my own in the States is I like to pull from local musicians. So I love to meet new talent in different cities. It's just a great way of getting to know people. It's a great way of getting into a community of musicians in a city that you want to just get to know. So like all through Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, all of that whole belt that I tour quite a lot. Most of the cities that I go to, I will seek out myself. I will do a lot of research online. I will sometimes go to Instagram. I'll call up, like one time I called up a local church because I really wanted a really good local violinist, a fiddle player. And I said, I'm coming to this city. I'm sure you do weddings, funerals at your church. Who is your best fiddler? And we're like, we might have somebody. I know what we'll do. And I swear to God, this was like the most Irish thing that ever happened. They gave me the number for the best Irish bar in town, the best Irish pub in town. And they were like, look, this is going to sound crazy, but our best fiddler that we know, he does a couple of weddings and funerals for us here, but actually he has a residency gig down at whatever it was, O'Toole's pub. You should talk to them. So then I call them to be like, hey, I hear you've got a really good fiddler. Can you give me his number? And he's like, well, actually, we can give you the guy who runs the band. So you suddenly get all these circles.
All this together.
And then finally you get the person. And then the funny thing is, like, chances are if they're in any Irish circle, 9 times out of 10 when I meet them, they're like, oh, so-and-so. And you're like, yeah, there it is, the Irish stereotype. We know each other through something. But so I like to pull, it depends on the environment, it depends on the city. But I'll hustle, I'll seek out the best people that I can work with, or the nicest people, or the kindest people. It doesn't matter to me if they're the best. Sometimes I just want to know good people in cities, and if they come recommended by somebody else, if somebody says to me, oh, I can't do it, but you should really meet so and so, you guys get on great, that's it, done for me. That's it, so we do that. And once you get all those, it's a jigsaw. Once you get all those little pieces in place, all you got to do is find the space, the rehearsal space. You pay for your time, you pay for everybody to get together, and you show up with your stuff ready, and you just kind of come in with a vision, and you go, this is what I want this show to look like, this is what I want it to sound like, let's just have a good time, let's just make some music and let's have a good time. So that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And Karsten says, Chloe, to have you and your music in my life is the best way to survive these times, but I miss your loving big hugs so much. Clover and support forever. Hopefully soon again, of course, live concerts with you as well. And Joseph Brothers, yes, that was so neat about the shows at the old school in Nashville.
Yeah, well, Nashville, now that particular show had loads of my friends on it. That was just a show that I just was like, I know loads of my best friends and musicians are all in Nashville. So I'm like, come on, boys, let's have a good time.
How did you get the Branson gigs with the hilarious Ronnie Kennedy?
Oh my gosh, Ronnie Kennedy, for those of you who don't know, that man is a legend here in Ireland. He is an accordion genius. He was part of Daniel O'Donnell's band for many years.
Yeah.
And Ronnie, we asked him to be our guest in Branson. He's worked with Nathan Carter for many years. But the man is a phenomenal musician, but he's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's a prankster. He's a troublemaker. So we shared, for anyone who's watching, for anyone who was in Branson, they probably know, we share a theater in Branson with a Chinese acrobat show that they come in during the day. They do the afternoon show, and then we come in at the evening and we do our show. But we share dressing rooms, so our costumes are obviously all in the same dressing rooms together. Every night, Ronnie thought this would be hilarious if he came out on stage each night with, one night he'd come out with like hula hoops, one night he'd come out with acrobat things, one night he'd come out with sunglasses, one night he came out with like cat ears on him. It didn't matter what, he would just appear from the sidelines, and you'd be in the middle of singing a serious song,
and here he comes.
He'd appear out with some comedy, and the whole audience would be like, man, there it is. Everybody's laughing, So he's a joy to work with, both as an amazing musician, but also just as a funny human being. He keeps you laughing,
See, that's great. And I mean, that's what it's all about. You have to have some, like I say, like this show, light, levity, and love, or levity. That's what, yeah, that's what it's all about. Absolutely. I'm just looking back at some of these cool comments. There's lots of fabulous comments that are in here from so many people. And it's great, people from around the world that are watching and enjoying us. Number of people saying that, and Willie in the Netherlands, I can't believe she is incredible. She's still up. She was still up. She goes, well, she wrote this earlier. Now it's later than 3:30 a.m. in the Netherlands. I cannot go to sleep. Chloe is so interesting.
Thank you so much, really. We're keeping you past your bedtime.
And Jerry, this evening, a great investment of my time, most enjoyable. That's nice to hear. Thank you very much, Jerry. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much to you, Jim and Chloe, for such a funny show with you both. The best way to start a new day without sleep.
Oh my gosh, poor Carsten.
They're starting a new day in
Germany. He decides to start the next day.
Isn't that fun?
So I'm sure he's probably up at all hours now. God love him. He's no sleep. You'll sleep tomorrow night, Carsten. You'll be grand. Good night.
Ernestine Webb's still with us in North Carolina. Chloe and Jim, a fun night watching you guys as well. And look, I am here, Willie.
Willie, you're a superstar. We love you.
Love you. Oh, this is interesting. Hopefully, once the pandemic is over, another masterclass with Lisa Kelly. Such a memorable day, huh?
Yes, lovely, Eric. How are you, Eric? Yes, I'd love that. Please, listen, as soon as I can get to see my Lisa Kelly, the better. But masterclass would be lovely for all of you.
Nice comment from Tony as well. That's
yeah. That's right, my lovely Tony. My goodness, he drove down to Branson to see us, and I want to say he drove back that night, back up to Connecticut to see us the next night. That show that you guys, yeah, he's
yeah. There are a few that do follow every city. Absolutely, Rachel. This is the best way to spend a Saturday. Well, we toast to that here at the Jim Masters Show Live. We toast to that in our 10th week of episodes here, and we're celebrating.
Love it.
Yeah, amazing, huh?
10 weeks, how amazing.
I don't know what it is that gets more delicious. MS gets more delicious with every sip.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Yeah.
It's a strawberry martini.
Yes, love your style.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Trouble for me, please. Yeah.
but some Smittix works too.
Yeah.
or Guinness. This has been so much fun. The best Saturday evening activity. Thank you, Chloe and Jim from Karen. I'm happy to hear that she's watching on the YouTube channel. Again, folks, if you missed anything, this whole show is archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. And all of the episodes are of the Jim Masters Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. So you can see all of the 10 weeks of episodes. And we are booked with guests all the way till September, almost every night, which is unbelievable. So many people wanting to hop on the show. And that really moves me. It's a blessing. Again, I do this work professionally, but to do it here for all of you, in this home studio environment, this has been really cool. I tell you, Chloe, this really has been so much fun doing this kind of thing. I love it.
I can't even imagine. It's amazing. Power to you. I have so much love, so much respect for you. Because that's no easy feat now. Like turning out, people don't underestimate it. It's not just turning on your computer, your camera, and going, oh, hey, I'm just going to go live at 7 p.m. tonight. It's not. It's so much work. For everyone who's on here, this man was so organized. I'm pretty sure you contacted me maybe 6 weeks ago. Like, he had multiple dates for me to choose from, was so professional about how you were conducting your thing. And I thought, this is not somebody just going live online for the bit of fun. I know you're here to have a bit of fun. I know you're bringing light and levity and all that. It's amazing. But there is so much thought and dedication and work that goes into creating consistent content that keeps people entertained. And it is the likes of the Willies and those that you go, thank you, because you're putting all this time and this work in, and it feels nice to have somebody appreciate it, and having it on your YouTube channel for people to watch back that might not get to tune in on live. It's all great, and right now in a time where so many of us, myself included, feel somewhat overwhelmed sometimes and stifled by just what do you turn out in these times? There you are, trailblazing. 10 weeks, baby, 7 nights a week, just churn it out. Like, so much respect to you, brother. I think it's awesome. So thank you for having me part of this.
I appreciate it.
And I'm pretty sure this is the most fun I've had. This is awesome. Yeah.
I love it. And the comments are still pouring in from all over the globe here. When it was our 9th week, I said, boy, 9 weeks. If it had been 9 months, this could have been a baby.
True story.
Because it is like a baby. Some really fabulous comments. Ernestine, Chloe and Jim, fun watching you. The best way to spend a Saturday. This, so much fun. The best Saturday evening activity. Thank you, Chloe and Jim. Quasi Tom, watching on the YouTube channel, says, I've been smiling for nearly 3 hours. So much fun this evening.
Love you, Tom. That's awesome. You and me, cheeks and soul.
Willie says she's now entered Sunday.
2021. I agree, Willie. We're all the same. She's now entered
Sunday. It's here in the United States. It's still Saturday night. So Willie, let us know.
I'm with Willie. It's 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Yeah.
So and you're both starting off Sunday in a cool way, aren't you?
It's a great way. It's 3 a.m. and I'm still on the red wine. It's great. I love it.
You're still, I tell you, that glass is bottomless, right?
That's weird. Stemless. That's the key.
Exactly. Yeah. So many great comments coming in here, and it's nice to see the love. Kathleen Walker.
Awesome.
Great show. Thank you, Chloe, for making me smile. We love that. Renee in Iowa, USA. It's been a very interesting show. We love that as well. It's the good, Willie says, a good beginning of my Sunday.
Good to hear.
Linda, great research, Jim. Chloe, I wish you all the best following your passion. Hugs from Texas. It's been great.
So much, that's so lovely to hear from all of y'all.
Jim and Chloe, I wonder what inspires your fashion, and do you both wear odd socks? Wink, wink. Sometimes, yeah, depending. I feel
Julia knows this about us both.
I was going to say,
it's a known fact I wear odd socks.
What's interesting is you've seen me wear like all kinds of different hairstyles, all kinds of different looks. Sometimes, I change my look constantly based on the event, the scenario, the project, the production, whatever it is. So I always change things up. Yeah. But the question, Julia, that you should be asking right now is, are Chloe and Jim wearing any socks right now at all? Maybe not, because here down.
I know it's like party up top. No, what is it? Business up top? Party down.
Party down.
I have the slippers on. Do you know what's really funny about this, Jim?
You have slippers on?
I do. I actually do have odd socks on. Do you know what's the best part?
Guess what?
So
I'm wearing slippers too. I have slippers too. I'm wearing slippers too.
So one fluffy black sock, but then, game changer, one Christmas themed sock with a Santa and some presents.
Oh my God. And I have a red hanky if needed. Maybe I'll do a magic trick.
What do we like? So there you go. You've just answered your.
There's the new show open. Good evening, folks. Welcome to that'll be my curtain. There you go. There's my curtain. In the time of
drum roll.
I was gonna say, in the time of home studios and all of this, you don't have the big television studio, the big stage. So I could start the show each night like this. And now Jim Masters comes to you live. Hi, everyone.
It's like the David Copperfield of online shows.
You you got to do what you got to do, and you got to make do. And Chloe, I think you need another glass of wine.
I think you're right, Tony. Do you have another bottle for me?
Yeah. Can you ship it to Ireland? I found the original Celtic Woman DVD in my collection. I will watch it again on Sunday.
Thanks, Jerry.
That is nice. Y'all are it's in North Carolina. Y'all are so funny. We love that. We love that. And we are, yes. We're wearing our Irish on our sleeves for sure tonight. Love the Santa sock. That's great. See, now you could
I just showed my Santa sock off the whole.
Yeah, but the way you did that, it was almost like a puppet. You could probably do a voice.
Maybe that would be my new career, Jim.
Yeah,
like Chloe has lost it altogether. She's now doing live stream puppet footsteps from her house.
Well, yeah. I want. Well, yeah, and I could do the same thing with the hanky. The hanky meets the sock.
We can have a whole online series, Jim.
Yeah, and the Jimmy and the George.
Jimmy, not the Jimmy.
But you really love silver.
I love
silver from Switzerland. Yeah.
So good.
Well, it's the reason why I said maybe you should do a little audition right now with the sock and do a voice. Is one of my friends is a Screen Actors Guild actor, movies, television, commercials, and he's originally from Kentucky, and he's been in New York, and he lives out in LA. And we did a whole, extended interview like this, or conversation. I don't even like the word interview. Conversation. It was feel good. We just let it roll. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people watched it. They're still watching it on YouTube. Good friend Dwight Turner. And towards the latter part of the interview, I said, "Hey, Dwight, what are some of the things what are you working on now? Is there any scripts or what's happening?" So he lifts up, not even anything like this. It's probably this and this thick of paper. And he goes, "Well, Jim, actually, I was just sent this script by casting and by producers." And he said, "And I got to go through the script and I got to rehearse it because I am up for this major national production. I think it's a musical or something that he's up for. They're looking him over. They're feeling him out if he's the right person for that thing." So we had a brilliant time on the show. Lots like this levity, laughs, good deep conversation, connection with the audience. Everybody loved it, which is what I love to do anyway. And I can do it freely here in this environment. It's not necessarily, it's not necessarily the structure of being maybe on another station where you're doing just that, or this is. We have just our own thing here. So what was really cool was he checked in with me maybe 2 days later, and he goes, "Hey, Jim, I love the interview, and I'm sharing the links, and everybody's watching it, and it's all cool, and loved it. Thank you. But I've got to tell you something." And I said, "Well, what's that, Dwight?" He said, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "Do you remember at the end, I showed you that huge script that I was being considered for, for a major musical role?" I said, yeah. He said, "I got the gig. I got it. I'm actually going to be starring in this major national musical production. And I'm so stoked and I'm so over the moon." But then he said, and this again is why I said maybe you should do an audition with the sock and create a character on the spot. He said the casting people and the producers were watching this interview. They watched it on YouTube. They wanted to learn a little bit more about him. Because again, we got into a deep conversation like this, where we went in all these different directions. And he told them that watching the interview we did on this show put them over the top to give him the gig. It was the deciding factor that gave him the gig for that role, for that major production, by watching our conversation together.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So I want to bring the sock out again.
Wants a very creative, emotionally weird, Santa wearing, wine drinking Irish lady. Santa sock wearing, wine drinking Irish lady. I'm your girl.
That's it. I was going to say, it's amazing how that happens, huh?
Masters TV. Just cracking it up. I love it.
It's amazing. Oh my gosh, this is really the funniest show I saw. So much fun with Chloe and Jim. Yeah, Chloe and Jim are going to go on the road. Watch for it coming soon.
Let's go.
Merry Christmas, Dwayne. Merry Christmas because of the socks. Love the
Merry Christmas. Oh, me and my Santa sock. Like, you kidding me? Just show that on the internet. Like, love that.
Look at this. Life is too short to waste time matching socks.
Preach, Rachel. There's far worse things in the world happening right now.
Jim and Chloe, I am legit laugh crying. I think she had said also that this is a wonderful, lots of crack going on tonight. A crack of the time.
You're laughing. That makes me feel happy. I love that you're maybe laughing at us or laughing with us. I'm not sure, but I don't care. Great. Once you're laughing.
Exactly. That should be a meme. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yes. Hilarious.
You can bring out your own Liberty socks and slippers.
Oh, you are getting the job as my brand manager. Love it. Yeah.
You two have great chemistry. So much fun.
You love that.
And we established that like 15 years ago on television in the United States initially. You were a good sport to wear a Santa hat for a picture at your Christmas show. I
don't even remember doing that. Hilarious. Sure. I'll take it. Brilliant.
That is funny. That is amazing. Just the comments come on and on and on. It's really great. We just really appreciate this. A good beginning to the Sunday and so much more. Yeah. That's
great for everybody who's stuck in here with us this time. We've been sitting here having a crack, having fun and just chatting. And thank you all for sticking in. And poor Carson has decided to miss his sleep altogether.
He loves us here to enjoy you here with Jim. It's so funny. I need no sleep. It's amazing.
Thank you all for watching. This is awesome.
Well, when you look at it all, you're doing what you love. I'm doing what I love. And that's truly what it's all about. And I think there's a reason why people, meet each other in life and why people become friends. And I think, when we all we're kindred spirits in a lot of different ways. And when we have an opportunity to share, our light with the world, it not only reflects back on us, but also it gives people the stamina and the will to find their own light and sort of reignite their light because they see us sharing ours. And that really is that's the icing on the cake to the kind of work we do as communicators. Wouldn't you say, Chloe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I think, everybody in this world has something to learn from each other, to something to appreciate from each other, something to understand from each other. I think we're all such complex, different human beings that I think 100%, I need days where I look at people whose energy and, their attack for life and their ambition for what they want to do. There's days where I look at people like that and part of me is so inspired by it. And I go, oh my gosh, that makes me want to do better things. And then there's some days where I look at it and I go, oh, that overwhelms me a little and I want to, I need to be more like that. So I think once we can all kind of learn from each other and we can all appreciate what we have to learn from each other, I kind of think that's one of the things that helps make the world go round in a positive way, and just to be kind to each other too. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff out there these days that doesn't allow a lot of space for being kind, and I think we need more of that. So yeah, I hope I'm thankful. I'm really, really thankful that anybody on here is just got a laugh out of tonight, or found it funny, or just found whatever energy or atmosphere was created on here. I'm so thankful that somebody can enjoy that from their comfort of behind their laptop or their phone. That's great to hear. That's all you can hope to do.
We're sort of bringing back the lost art of conversation, truly, know.
Yeah, that's gone these days. A lot of us have forgotten how to do that, or a lot of us, even the younger generations, don't really know necessarily how to do that now. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool stuff. One more comment.
Comments. I'm always about to cry looking at all these lovely things coming in. Thank you so much. Beautiful Neve. Mwah, big loves to you, lady. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much.
That's really amazing. I tell you. Yeah, when you get a chance to see this kind of feedback here, it's really amazing. Really cool stuff. Well, this has been extraordinary. And I knew when you were coming on, we were going to have a fantastic time. I knew it was going to be awesome. And it's like, it's almost as like there's no distance. We don't have the big pond separating us.
I know. But genuinely. And look, what I love about you, my mom, she'd say it about both of us, that you and I could talk for Ireland and bring home 7 gold medals. We could do that real well, pal. But it's just been so lovely to just shoot the breeze and just literally thank you for having me on this show. I'm your biggest fan. You know that. I so love what you do, and particularly right now, like I said, your dedication to what you're doing in this time, creating this content, that's giving people a laugh. That's, as you said, giving people like me an opportunity to actually just talk and be human and not have to answer scripted interview questions, or anything that's scripted. Like, this is all natural and fun and real, and to be able to get to do that right now is lovely in a time where we all feel locked up and locked in, both mentally and physically. It's really nice to be able to let that out there into the universe.
Absolutely.
Continued love and success to you and everyone who's watching here tonight. Continue supporting this beautiful man and continue to keep spreading the good vibes and the good love in the universe. You're all fantastic. Thank you for all tuning in, for sticking with us. My God, we've been talking shite for 3 hours and you've been sitting here with us the whole time. You're amazing.
And Willie.
I'm really still here. Willie, you deserve a trophy. You really do. You champion. Thank you for being #1 Jim Masters fan. After me, by the way, Willie, get in line. You need to. I'm going to show.
No, that's fantastic.
Thank you, guys. This is so fun. Thank you, Jim. Keep doing what you're doing, my love. Good luck with the rest of the series. And I hope you get to do this again sometime.
Absolutely. And my pleasure, Karsten. So happy that you had Chloe here on the show tonight. Loved it. When I told Chloe that we were doing the show, she said, you just tell me where and when, and I will be there. And again, that's what friends are for. Thank you, Chloe and Jim. It is our pleasure. And like Suzanne says, yes, real talk. And that's what this is. You get an opportunity to really get a feeling for what people are really like. And we made Ernestine's day.
Hey, pick of everybody who's online tonight. Gives a pic. Hey, this is going on the ground.
That's it. She'll have that posted in 6 seconds.
There we go. Done.
Thank you, Jim and Chloe. A great night. God bless. Now they're wishing us well and bye and take care. And
thank you, Eric.
I play along with my violin too. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God. Tag me in that. That's really cool. I want to see that. That's awesome.
Time for some Cadbury chocolate. That sounds good about now.
Always for Cadbury chocolate.
Chocolate and wine go nicely together.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. Wow. Well, we can certainly have a chat show together. That's for sure. We'll put that on. You know what I mean? There'll be no dead air. We just did 3 hours.
Endless discussions, pal.
No scripts. No teleprompter. No scripts.
Who needs them, baby?
We went back 15 years in time with all the photos through the years and the TV stations. And Jim Masters, glad I found your show too. I'm so glad you are. We're here every night and wonderful guests just like Chloe here. Night, Bonnie and Clyde and Chloe.
Thank you. I need to go feed her.
Bless you guys. Thanks for a great night.
Oh, Nicola, go to sleep, you beautiful lady.
No dead air tonight. Good evening and good night. That's great. So are you going to go to bed now? What are you going to do? Are you wired? See, when I do stuff like this, it's like I want to go out and go to the place. Yeah. Well, it's just like,
Jim, I'm going to go back to the bloody cleaning. You're going to have me clean in the kitchen again. I need to do something with this energy.
Well, that's what it is. I know, like after I do anything, whether it's this show or my professional work and broadcast, and when I'm wired, like even
no.
I don't go to bed till like 3 a.m. because I'm
Yeah.
so pumped from doing everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, I'm sure when you come off stage, it's the same thing. You're like, you're exhausted from all, because the preparation is huge going into it, but you're still
huge,
but you're wired and enthusiastic.
Adrenaline, man, it's a really strange thing, you know, once that kicks in, and it's the post-show thing that you kind of, that's the strangest thing for me about touring and everything as well, is that you can finish the show with thousands of people and you can be buzzing, or you can come off something on air, you've just done a big TV show, you feel great, and then you go into your hotel room or you go home to your room and you're on your own and it's silent, and you're like, oh,
where'd everybody go? What just happened? Yeah,
I feel like I've got all this energy and stuff's going on, and why is, it's so weird, it's so strange. So I need to like take up a hobby or something, like, to
burn off that energy, right? Exactly.
Energy,
I just thought of this, and I wanted to ask this earlier, and I've asked this of other folks that are in the creative world. Do you like everything you do right away, or does it take time for you? Like for me, I don't usually like everything the minute I do it, because I find all the things that I don't like. Everybody else is saying that was great, spot on, brilliant, loved it, and you hear all that, but it doesn't register. I'm so emotionally invested in what I just did that I see it from a different lens than everybody else. So I need time to be separated emotionally from what I just did to really appreciate it. Is it the same for you?
100%. I totally get that. And we were even talking about the other day, my sister she's the most amazing. We're all really good cooks in this house. Obviously, we love to eat, but she is a really phenomenal cook. And we were joking about the other day that she's a Michelin star chef. She's phenomenal. She'll make these amazing meals. The first thing she'll say to us is, what would you do differently? What was wrong with it? What do you not like? And it was so funny when she said it to me the other day. I was like, you know what? I was like, you sound like me coming off a gig, coming off a show where you're just straight away, you're like, I need to emotionally process this. I need to mentally think about what I've just done. What was shit? What wasn't good? What needed working on? What do we need to improve on? So I do think, maybe in creative artistic people, there's naturally a part of us, an element that just goes, it's the critical part of it. It's the perfectionist part of us, right? It's the part that goes, well, it can't have been good enough. And I think that's good, because I think if you come from a school of thought that you think you're brilliant all the time and everything that you've just done is phenomenal, that's when trouble starts, because ego is going to come into play. And then, you're actually not going to look at your work through clear lenses because you think your stuff is great, So I think it's a good thing that you actually come away from something that you've done and you try to analyze it, you try to understand it, compartmentalize it. And I do think, some part of you has to take the good out of it, that there was enough of a reward to make you want to do it again. And then there was enough of you feeling your strength out of it that makes you go, okay, actually I'm validated in doing what I do. I want to do that again. Or somebody tells me, the one person who does come through and tells you, that was a great show, I really enjoy this. That is the fuel, as we talked about earlier, that keeps you doing what you do, So it's a strange one. I agree with you. I think, it comes in waves. Like I'm sure anyone in whatever field they're in can sit and relate to that there's days you come home and you're like, yeah, killed it in my job today. And then there's days where you come home and you go, why do I do this? What? This doesn't make sense. Why do I do this to myself? This is not fun, so
frustrating and aggravating and annoying, and
you hate yourself. Like that's life, right? So, I think we in whatever field you are in, whatever way you walk through the world, all of us have those questions. We all have those days, and you can only just keep on keeping on. Ain't that what they say?
That's it. And to remember to relax. Breathe from the diaphragm, right?
Oh, from the diaphragm.
The diaphragm. Yes. Oh no, mine's empty.
I know, I do. Like, let's go. Let's go. Another 3 hours, another bottle. Let's go.
Are there any places open right now? Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Social distancing. Everything's closed. Everything's still shut. We got to go rummaging. What do we have in the basement?
I know, it's one of those days. Yeah, it's like what leftover bottles do we have from Christmas? Did one of the neighbors give us anything?
Yeah, yeah. Cooking sherry.
Rice wine vinegar. Is there anything?
There, somebody actually said, and I got to go back to it just real quick because it was very funny. Karen said,
Karen.
Chloe, you're welcome to come help me clean my kitchen. We baked bread today.
Listen, Karen, if you bake bread, I am there. Bread is my kryptonite. I love me some bread. So I'm all over that. Fresh baked bread. I'll get the cinnamon out immediately. Yeah.
Good Irish soda bread. I just finished a painting tonight, but had no one home to get my feedback from. Yeah, I know. That's really important.
Yeah. Look, you just got to sit back at the end of the night, look at your work and go, I did that. I don't, you know what? Nobody's here to tell me it's good. Nobody's here to tell me it's bad, but I did that. And that is an achievement, Suzanne. Whatever you did tonight, whatever you created, whatever you crafted, you spent your time doing that. And that's the validation that you deserve for your gift. So good for you, lady.
Karen has a loaf. Yeah, I'll take a loaf too. I love bread.
Karen, put the kettle on. I'm coming.
And I love good mashed potatoes. Oh, mashed potatoes.
Oh.
Rachel wants dance moves.
No.
No. Remember, she's
showing you my odd Santa sock.
Right. You cannot do that. And
that's really unfair because Rachel's a dope dancer, so she knows
what she's doing. Right. She's
out, Rachel. You know what you're doing.
Right. Exactly. And Joseph Brothers say, which is so true, what we're talking about, getting it done in one take must be gratifying. It really is. And like what we're doing now, we're just speaking from the heart. This is all. There's nothing scripted. There's no teleprompters. We're just rolling, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and actually, it's really strange because it's so much more natural. It's you think maybe getting to do the same line or the same one thing that you've just saying over and over again. No, actually, just doing this is so much more natural, and what happens. And yeah. So
absolutely.
Fine. Well, good word.
Absolutely. Well, you are a blessing and you are a joy, and it's you're welcome back to the show at any time, Chloe. And I really, really hope that you do come back, and we don't have to do it as long as this, but this was really fantastic. And I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be deep. I knew it was going to be, lots of levity. I just knew it. And I hope you certainly enjoyed yourself as much as I did, my friend.
Are you looking at the space? Haven't stopped smiling for 3 bloody hours straight. Jim Masters, that's nothing new there, friend. That's 15 years of making me smile. That's you. I love you, pal. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone on here again. I can't say it enough. You've just brought us such a lovely night of lovely positive comments and lots of good vibes, all right. So God bless you. I'm going to be really insulted if you ever change that picture behind you on your television screen, by the way. Like, I think that needs to be a permanent feature.
See, we think of everything, don't we? We even have that.
I mean, production value on fake. Like, just nailed it, dude. Nailed it.
We also have this for Willie, a Dutch shoe.
A Dutch shoe and tulips for Willie. Oh my God, you just got it all, dude. You got it all.
And what I tell everybody, and I'll say this to you as well, usually, when I wrap the show, when the guest is off, I'll say that I might be the star of the show, but I think you and you and you and you and all the viewers are really the stars. And tonight, you are the star tonight with me on the Jim Masters Show Live.
Hallmark gold. I love you. I love you.
You know, it's funny. I said that we could change the name of the show to Off the Wall, because a lot of the things that are part of this set have been taken off the walls of the house. I mean, lights, camera, action. You saw me do this was upstairs. This was on a wall. You know what I mean? It's like we're taking everything off the walls for the show. So we could call
everything you have in your house.
And just call the show Off the Wall.
The shower head is going to be next. The shower head is going to be the next feature in the show.
Yeah. Then we know that we are really we're tanking if we end up starting to take stuff out of the bathroom.
Amazing. That made my night. What a laugh.
If we take stuff,
you're the best in the world.
If we take stuff out of the bathroom, I guess that means the show's going down the drain.
Oh,
that's it. That's it. Well, your friends say goodnight. Jimmy says and he says goodnight. And Jeannie's in there, she's blinking at you. And the one and only comedian George Burns with his cigar too and all. He's all set. He says goodnight as well.
Superstar.
Love you, my friend. This was extraordinary. I didn't plan to go this. Still awake. You're going to laugh. This is probably going to knock you off your seat. She's still awake, yet watching from bed. Willie in Holland.
I don't blame you, Willie. I would have been in a half an hour. Oh,
amazing. Love you. Really. Love you.
With you, and I'm glad you're the best in the world.
You as well. You take care. You be well. Love to your mom and your family and everybody. It's a blessing. I hope to maybe meet her one day. That'll be great.
You know, you have a bed, full bed and breakfast whenever you want it here in Ireland. Like
I was actually supposed to be on a television shoot this summer in Ireland, but because of everything, it was supposed to be in Texas, Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, San Antonio, and Ireland. But because of everything going on, but when we do return.
Well, there's a cup of tea ready and waiting for you.
Do I have to clean closets?
And I was going to say, actually, I was like, scrap the cup of tea, strawberry martinis all around.
Ooh.
Ready for your arrival.
That's it. Good stuff.
You're the best.
Love you. All right. You take care. Stay well. Thanks for being on the show. You rock, my friend. Here's to another 15 years, right? Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Very special guests. Wow. I think this is the longest episode of the Jim Masters Show live we've ever done, but I just knew that this was going to be extraordinary. Is she not amazing or what, gang? I tell you, again, you can find all of her material online, support her, follow her. Again, you know her for so many years from Celtic Woman, but she's got this brilliant solo career. She's acting, she's doing voiceover work. Again, she's a creative, similar to me. I'm wearing all these hats, all these different things I do. And we love it. And we get a chance to deliver all of this light, levity, and love to you around the world. And that's what drives us to do the work that we do. Just want to show you again some fabulous pictures over the years here with the dear Chloe Agnew. Again, these are some of the times when we first met, actually, with the whole Celtic Woman gang. Some great memories. These are either on stage or at television studios. And again, just really spectacular. And she was on my list of people that I wanted in the infancy of the Jim Masters Show live to be a part of this show. I have a list of people that I knew I wanted to have on this show in the early days, because I knew that you guys would love them all. And they speak from the heart. They're dear people, very talented, and just extraordinary. And my awesome friend and your awesome friend. Look at that. Look at that cool smile. Isn't that? She's up to something there. I love that look. Just a true, beautiful person inside and out, and a wonderful talent. And again, more comments coming in. Great show tonight, Jim. Thank you, Ernestine in North Carolina. And somebody said, now wake up Nathan Carter. Well, maybe we'll get him on the show next too. That'll be great. And just going to make some contact with him, and we'll try to get him on as well. Damien Mcginty, I mentioned, is coming on in a couple of weeks too. And so many more. We have people from all walks of life coming on the show. Great show, Jim. I really enjoyed it. Jim, this was great. Thank you so much. I will be watching more episodes upcoming. Thank you very much. On YouTube at Jim Masters TV, and usually always on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. I know something went awry on Facebook or something. Facebook can be finicky, but we air stuff. So glad you're on YouTube, and usually we're on Facebook as well, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to repost this episode on Facebook as well. We'll share it on Facebook, but if you want to watch it again, the whole thing in its entirety is right here on YouTube, Jim Masters TV. Great show tonight. Yeah, you should get Nathan on the show. He's a real character. Yeah, we had him, in the studio. One of my other hats is working with public television for a long time, and he was great in the studio with Chloe. Great night, Sunday morning. Awesome. Have a great night, Jim. Absolutely. Willie. And Willie, Chloe really got a kick out of you, and I'm glad you had an opportunity to chat with Chloe. I know you've wanted to do that. Enjoy again, and now we go to sleep. See you tomorrow. You're a trooper. I mean, you're going to sleep now, then you're going to wake up, then you're going to take a nap so you don't miss the show. It's amazing and great show tonight. Gang, we're going to wrap up. As I remember to say to you what I always love to say, which is, you guys, again, as I just showed, where'd this thing go? I might be the star of the show, the host, the producer, but you guys are the true stars. You. And as my dear friend Chloe and I were talking about, relax, breathe. We'll get through this. You guys are great. That's what it's all about. Love one another, take care of one another, celebrate life, celebrate nature, celebrate each other, call your family, check in with friends. Come here. We're here nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific with light levity and lots of levity as well. I am your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time. Again, Jim Masters TV YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV Facebook channel, Facebook page, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Jim Masters TV as well. We thank once again our delightful and beautiful talent, wonderful, spirited, heart-centric person, Chloe Agnew, for all of this brilliant extended time. She didn't have to do this, but I knew we were going to have a wonderful time, and you guys were going to enjoy it all around the world. So we thank you. We thank you. Thanks again for all of this light and levity all around the world. And we love you guys. It's a blessing, all the comments and sharing the links and all the wonderful things you guys do. So we're going to wrap the show up for now. Yes, we are. And get some shut-eye or what have you. And we'll be back again here on the show with more good times on the Jim Masters Show Live. For all of us here from all around the world, love you guys. True blessing to have you here. Join us again. I'll be here waiting for you on the Jim Masters Show Live. Take care. Be well. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.